Radio.
FM.
Online at BBC Sports Scotland.
Your smart speaker.
And on BBC Sounds.
This is Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
Thank you for joining us on Open All Mics. 5 games in the top flight kicking off at 3 o'clock, and we have got reporters at the 3 games in the Championship this afternoon. Just a reminder, the early kick-off we heard from Brendan Rodgers there. Aberdeen 1, Celtic 1. Miofsky with the opener for the home side on 50 minutes. Kuhn with the equaliser on 63 minutes. It was a fantastic second half at Pittodrie. So let's get round the Championship games then. Let's get to Somerset Park. Ayr United against Dundee United, and there for us, Chick Young.
Yes, Kenny, I have to say it is a very blustery afternoon down here at the coast. Actually, they've got the Ayr United under 10 squad outside there holding massive flags. I'm a bit petrified they're going to walk like kites and about something like a kind of a Mary Poppins movie with these kids getting blown into the sky. Teams coming out at the moment. Ayr United, of course, under Scott Brown. First win last week at Hampden. This is his first home game, and it's against high-flying Dundee United. Jim Goodwin in charge of them, of course. Won't rattle through the teams at the moment, but maybe the headline is that Tony Watt is on the bench for Dundee United. Option of him coming on. United in their change green top this afternoon. Ayr United with their traditional white tops, black shorts, not that dreadful pink stripe thing they done at Hampden last week. A big crowd inside the ground. And Kenny, you know, I used to go on this programme and say, preserve Somerset Park as a memory of how it used to be. Well, you know that on the far side now they're building a huge stand. They'll enter the ground. It's going to look very impressive indeed. Progress in that, and you do get the feeling that Ayr United are a team and a club who are stepping up their act a little bit.
I do remember you saying an anachronism of a football stadium. That was your regular line from Somerset Park. Let's then get to East End Park. Dunfermline at home to Morton. There for us, Kasim Sheikh.
Good afternoon. Just both teams coming out, just about to kick off here. 7th place, Dunfermline Athletic. The home side today going into this fixture against Greenock Morton, who are sitting 4th in the league. Should be an interesting game. Greenock Morton have been in fantastic form under Dougie Emery, on a great run. But however, you know, the last 2 times these 2 teams met, Dunfermline Athletic have taken 6 points from those 2 fixtures. So both sides will be going into it with some sort of confidence. Looking forward to a good game here today, and we'll keep you updated.
Good stuff, thanks to Kasim. Next stop we go to the Highlands. Inverness, Cally Thistle at home to Queen's Park, and a very good afternoon to John Robertson.
Good afternoon. The game's up and running here, and no doubt who's been the busiest side in the Championship. 6 in and 6 out for Inverness, and they go into days with no surprise, no changes from last week's fantastic 3-2 win at the Raith Rovers. So they line up with Ridgers in goals, Cammy Kerr, Chillicoa, Mullen, Devine and Savage, and Harper at the back with Anson Gilmore Shaw, Samuel Mackay. Queen's Park make 3 changes. Ex-captain of this parish, Sean Welsh, is suspended, so he goes out. In comes goes Mackin, Welsh and Longridge, and they line up today with Ferry in goals, with McPherson, Bannon, Tizard and Robson, with Turner, Thompson, Bruce, McKinstry, Payton and Thomas up front. If Inverness win, they could go 2 points behind Morton in 4th place if results go their way. If Queen's Park win, they can come 1 point behind today's home team. So all to play for here at the Caledonian Stadium. Yeah, some big games in the Championship this afternoon. In the early kick-off in the English Premier League, it finished Everton 2, Spurs 2. Everton with a 94th minute equaliser. Yes!
Oh, it's a goal for Ayr United in the first minute. Free kick on the left-hand side. It curls into net. Isn't Murphy has taken it? Everyone left it. It curled. The wind I was talking about caught it, and it swept itself beyond Jack Walton and the Dundee United goals. It is indeed Ayr United ahead, first minute, and already a Dundee United booking for Graham Grimshaw. What a start, United. It's a goal. It is indeed Jamie Murphy, the scorer, as I said. Jamie Murphy puts Ayr United 1-0 ahead.
What a start to life in management in Scotland, certainly, for Scott Brown. Rory Loy is alongside me in the studio. As I said, really some big games this afternoon, plenty to play for.
Yeah, there is. Absolutely. None more so than up in Dingwall. 11th versus 10th, and Ross County can jump above St Johnstone today with a win. Ross County, plenty of signings in that winter transfer window, so it'll be interesting to see how they impact the side. And of course, I think Hibs could do with a win against St Mirren today, just to try and push their top 6 credentials, and then maybe look at going further up the league. But that potentially could push St Mirren into the bottom 7, which is a stark reminder of how much they've fallen since the start of the season. And I think the other games, I do fancy Rangers at home to Livingston, I have to say, especially after the result at Pittodrie. I think Dundee Hearts is a tough one to call today, Kenny, I really do.
Yeah, two very good teams there, you would have to say. Forfar have got 1-0 up at home to Spartans. Thomas Brinley on 3 minutes. And Brighton 1-0 up at home to Crystal Palace. That goal also on 3 minutes. Lewis Dunk with the score there. Just in terms of that game in St Johnstone, Rory, I've just seen a few Saints fans in recent weeks questioning the performances, not at all happy with the style of play in recent weeks under Craig Levein.
Well, I think the position that St Johnstone were in when Craig Levein took over, I don't think it was ever going to be pretty. You know, when you're down that end of the league, especially rock bottom when he took over, I think you need to take care of results first and foremost, and he's done that. After that, you need to try and implement a style of play, but they're still in a scrap.
Has he?
Right, come in on that, Michael.
He's got 1 win in 8. I mean, look, you know,
when he first came in, Michael, I said they were rock bottom. They're no longer rock bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think in large part that could be due to some clubs that have, curtailed off a large amount. 1 win in 8 is not a particularly good record,
you need
is
to win to get off the bottom, Michael.
To be fair to Michael, he said right at the start things would turn.
If you listen to what I said when he first came in,
he's won 1 win in 8.
Yes. And
that's not particularly great.
No, it's not particularly great. I agree with you.
By the way, Rory, you're not alone, because there's a lot of cheerleaders that were in the studio talking about how things are brilliant.
Nothing to do with being cheerleaders, Michael. It's about.
Well, you could be chuckling, Kenny, but the point is 1 win in 8, and this is a massive game for them, because if Ross County go above them,
and disputed that they've not been in great form.
If Ross County go above them, that is pretty damning. And I think there's another thing that needs to be clear. There's no rule that suggests you have to play crap football to win games as if it is mutually exclusive.
If you're bottom of the league,
taking care of
Michael,
results,
when you
it's
take
not going
over
to be
a club,
pretty.
Would St Johnstone fans have taken this position in the league going into this game when Craig Levein took over, yes or no?
Sorry, Rory, I didn't hear that.
I think there's a delay in the line. Go again, Rory.
If St Johnstone fans were given, going into this game, their position in the league after Craig Levein came in, would they have taken it?
Is that actually a serious question? Would you rather be bottom of the table or 10th?
Well, exactly. There you go.
Rory, it's not a realistic.
You're not listening to what's being said and answering your own questions.
Rory, I am listening. My point is, I'm trying to make is that many people have been going on about how things have turned, things are great. These are words that have come out of your mouth in terms of things have turned.
Come on, guys. I'll just come in here. I'll tell you what, great effort, by the way.
Derek, chance.
Yeah, great effort. That was Ryan Jack. He's come into the side, just picking the ball up on the edge of the box. Great strike by the keeper, gets across. George to his right hand side to parry it away, but it was a kind of a slowish start, which I was a little bit surprised from Rangers, but they're starting to get into the groove and putting a bit of pressure on that Livingston defence.
It's a huge few weeks, isn't it, Derek, coming up for Rangers? Just the boost they've got. You said the reaction from the crowd that were in early doors at Ivers. They've got some games coming up they will expect to win. This could be very, very tight come the next Old Firm game.
Yeah, and this is a game they're expected to win because of that, horrendous run that Livingston are on. Obviously low in confidence, and Rangers in a good place. They got a few signings through the door. Maybe not exactly what the manager wanted. I still say they could have done with a striker in, but big games coming up. This is one you would expect if they get their noses in front early doors, they might be able to get a few goals. I tell you what, the wind's playing havoc, and it was just their Tavernier, using that wind. I tell you what a difficult one it was for the keeper, and does ever so well to parry it away. But Rangers on the front foot as you would expect early doors, but it's 0-0 at the moment.
And an Athletic
nearly 2-0 to Ayr United.
Yep, on you go, Chick. Yep.
Great chance, Jamie. Ball print the right hand. It's all Ayr United at the moment. They're all over the league leaders, and they nearly scored a second, and it was Murphy again. Here's Dundee United at the other end. Oh, what a chance that was, and it's saved by the goalkeeper Louis Moult. clean through, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. But what a save by Charlie Albinson. What a start to this game, Kenny. Still 1-0, should have been 2.
Sounds a cracker.
2-1, actually.
Yeah, sounds a cracker. And an Athletic 1, Alloa Athletic 0. Aidan Smith with a goal there on 4 minutes. Newcastle United 1, Luton Town 0. Sean Longstaff on 7 minutes. Let's then get to Dens Park, Dundee at home to Hearts. Alan Preston is there for us. What's happening in the early stages, Alan?
I've played 6 minutes, Kenny. Nothing really. It's a midfield battle at the moment. No chances so far. But I like the look of Mellon. I must admit, I think he was very impressive last week against Livingston, and he's certainly didn't obviously see how he done it at Pittodrie, but certainly today he's a big lad. Looks of a decent touch, good turn of pace. It's a really good acquisition for Tony Docherty. As far as Hearts are concerned, they've got Scott Fraser on the bench. We'll be hoping to get him some game time today, but this is a tight game to call. Two good sides.
He was injured during the week, Alan, but I agree with you. Come on at Livingston last week. I was at that game and he was really, really good. Unfortunately, he was missing during the week, so it'll be interesting to see how he does today.
The changes actually that Tony Dock made at half time made a big difference at Pittodrie midweek, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, what a chance. The aforementioned Mellon, really good play. Simic, who's come into the side for Kingsley, who's ill. Daly's on the ball and it's Mellon's in, and it's Kent that comes towards him and he nutmegs him.
Goal, Easter Road.
Yes, Michael.
Goal. It's for the away side. It's Alex Gogic coming back to Easter Road and he slams it into the back of the net. It was just a ball over to the back. It got picked up. I think it might have been Greg Kilty that's clipped it back into the box, and Alex Gogic right in between the sticks on the 6-yard line, in between all the defenders, gets on the end of it and slams it into the back of the net. 1-0 to St Mirren.
Yeah, fantastic start there, isn't it?
It's poor defending. The initial one comes
again.
They lose it at the back stick. St Mirren then pick up the second one inside the box. It gets recycled back in, and St Mirren first there again.
Yeah, we spoke last week, Michael, didn't we, about the lack of quality defenders. He's made a lot of additions in January, has Nick Montgomery. Just briefly, I know we touched on this last week, Michael. How would you assess how he's doing in the job, the Hibs manager?
First of all, sorry, it was just seen there. It was Boyd Munce that clipped it back, and it wasn't Kilty for the header for Alex Gogic. In terms of Nick Montgomery, I mean, things, when you talk about a poor situation to walk into, for a size of club like Hibs, Lee Johnson never ever got the club going the way they should have. Nick Montgomery, it's sort of tailed off quite dramatically of late.
East End Park.
Yes, Kasim. Who for?
I apologise in advance. I've not caught the scorer, but a beautifully worked goal.
For who?
From Greenock Morton from the left-hand side. My apologies. I will get back to you on that. Couple of passes at the edge of the box, cut inside, and a tap in at the right-hand side post. 1-0 to Greenock Morton against Dunfermline Athletic.
Yeah, as you were saying, they've gone very, very well under Dougie Emery. They are into the playoff spot, and what a fantastic result that would be if they can hang on at East End Park this afternoon. Michael, back to you.
Yeah, I was just talking about how of late it's not been great. In the build up to the winter break, it was a bit of a poor run, and they've not really been able to turn things around or kick on from then. So there's changes been made. Obviously, Triantis has come in at the back to try and shore things up. There've been a number of changes at the top end of the park as well, but it's not been a great start here at home. St Mirren have got their noses in front, and it's a big game, I was saying beforehand, because there needs to be a feeling that things are turning and things are going to start to progress, because ever since Jack Ross has left the club, it's been downward trajectory really for Hibs, and nobody's really been able to get a sustained period of the club moving in the right direction.
Yeah, confirmation, Dara O'Connor with that goal for Morton in the 10th minute. Dunfermline 0, Morton 1. Let's then get to Fir Park. Motherwell at home to Kilmarnock this afternoon. There for us, Stephen Craigan.
Yeah, Kenny, there's not an awful lot to talk about with regards in this game so far. Both teams have lined up as a 3-4-3, so there's so many individual battles all over the pitch that both managers will want their players to get the better of. Motherwell had a couple of corner kicks, got the balls into the box. Georgie Gent looks lively in the left-hand side. Kilmarnock looking quite rigid, haven't really got into their flow at this moment in time, but Derek McInnes, of course, has got that firepower off the bench of Greg Stewart and Kevin Van Veen if things don't go their way. And I suppose that's the question you'd put out there. Is that the best piece of business or has Derek McInnes done the best work in the transfer window, bringing in 2 quality players at the top end of the pitch? When you think of all managers, that's what they're looking for at this time of the year. Game changers, match winners, someone or some players who can redirect their season, and he certainly seems to have pulled off a couple of big signings there. But so far at Fir Park, it's 0-0.
Yeah, we'll put that round the rest of the pundits in a few minutes' time. Which club has done the best bit of business in this window? So, well, the window's over, but it's hard to say now, I guess, because a player could develop into something we weren't expecting. But on paper at the moment, which club looks to have done the best bit of business? Let's then get to Dingwall. Ross County at home to St Johnstone. What's happening in the early stages, Ian Auld?
Yeah, not an awful lot to report here in Dingwall, Kenny. It's been a very tight opening 12.5 minutes. In fact, the only drama, or the only kind of highlight really, has been the chance from James Brown, a half chance inside the 6-yard box, which he drilled wide of Mitov's left-hand post. Really, in the last couple of minutes, quality's been pretty poor. George Wickens, the Ross County goalie, shanked 2 free kicks over the stand on the far side. That's the real highlight so far.
Right, we heard from Chick at Somerset Park and also Kasim at East End Park. Let's get to Inverness, Cally Thistle against Queen's Park, and John Robertson.
Yeah, and a very fluid. Both teams very, very tidy on the ball. Inverness are pushing it was up. Oh, there's a wee chance here just as it come. Bannon has headed a free kick pass for the visitors there. Yeah, it's been pretty even. Don Thomas with the only real shot at goal up till that second. He cut in from the 20 yards out, blasted one over the bar. But as I said, both teams are very easy on the eye. Inverness looks like a back 5, but in possession, Kerr and Harper really pushing up the pitch. So a good game here, still goalless.
Edinburgh City 0, Kelty Hearts 1. Alfie Bavidge with a goal on 14 minutes. Guys, what are your thoughts on the situation at Aberdeen? Barry Robson sacked this week. We know that they're looking to appoint an interim manager. They've spoken to 3 people in regard to that. One of them that they have spoken to has been Neil Warnock.
What a goal, Kenny!
Yes!
What a goal! It's come for Kilmarnock. Oh, Motherwell couldn't clear the ball. They couldn't get rid of the set play. I think it's not Stuart Finlay. I can't think who the bodies are all around.
We're trying to see if we get pictures coming in here, Stephen, that the player is
complete. Thomas
it's
Davies,
not Finlay. No, Finlay's in the outer rings. Finlay's. I can't see the player who's right in the middle of it. It
actually came from Lewis Mail.
Yeah,
it came from his left foot. He's caught it in the edge of the box.
Yeah, it's Lewis Mail.
It fizzes it in from about 25 yards. Liam Kelly doesn't move. It crashes off the post into the back of the net. And out of nothing, Derek McInnes' high-flying Kilmarnock take a lead. Motherwell 0, Kilmarnock 1.
Yeah, you'd have to think they're stick-ons for top 6. I mean, the recruitment there has been absolutely spot on from the manager.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal. And the thing is, if you're a Danny Armstrong who plays every week in that team, if you're a Kyle Vassell or any other forward player who plays most weeks, you're looking at that bench going, Greg Stewart's sitting there, Kevin Van Veen's sitting there. If I slip below any form of standard, then, you know, after 60 minutes you start glancing over and you know you could be coming off. And
there's a VAR check. Some of the Motherwell players are gesticulating like there's been a push somewhere along, and I don't know where, but there is a delay, as there always is with goals, just in case there's anything clear and obvious for you.
Okay, I don't see how a push, although, you know, would have stopped the goal going in, but obviously if it's been a clear push then they would look at it, but I've not seen anything at all to this point.
Goal stands.
Yeah, so Lewis Mayo with the opener there on 30 minutes. Motherwell 0, Kilmarnock 1.
Opportunity. They've got to pull the trigger. The ball flew into the box, and George again, it must be down to the wind. He's all over the place, drops it. I think Silva was in there, Cantwell was in there, just couldn't get the ball out of their feet, get a striking goal. Ball goes by for a corner kick, but I think Rangers got to keep doing that, keep getting the ball in. I think, you know, they're trying to get through the middle at times. It has to be ever so precise, and I think their best bet is just try and work into the wider areas, try and isolate Matondo, maybe even McCausland, get 1v1s and get deliveries into the box.
Yeah, with a chance there, somebody.
There's a little half chance for Hearts as up the far end, and the pillar comes into play. Shanklin gets it. I don't know what he does with it, but then I see the ball coming out the other side of the pillar, and Oda's almost in at the back post, taking a deflection away for a corner to Hearts. Hearts are starting to pile on a little bit of pressure, but still 0-0.
Alan, what do you think of the road that Aberdeen are going down? They've got, you know, a specialist company in there, advise them. They're looking to appoint an interim. They've spoken to Neil Warnock. What are your thoughts? Is that the right thing?
I heard Willie talking about it before the game on the way up to Dundee, and he's bang on. You know, what are the people at the club doing? If they can't make the appointments, they need to go to someone to outsource the whole thing. I just don't get it at all.
There can't be specialists in everything, Alan, can
and
they?
Also, be careful what you wish for, because a lot of Aberdeen fans wanted Derek out, and look at that. They've had, was it 3 managers in 3 years now, whatever it is. It's not great. You know, Derek had them in Europe every year, 8 years out of 9, I think it was. In fact, just the first year when he came in, he didn't So just be careful what you wish for, whatever club you're at. It's not just Aberdeen, because sometimes you hound a manager out and there's no need for it at all.
John Robertson, your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, it's just what the lads are saying. You know, a board of directors there, and you'd think that, you know, that's what their task with running the football club. And you know, you've got a very capable director of football, and you've got Alan Burrows and Stephen Gunn. So you'd think that they would, you know, have somebody in mind. They've not just sacked Barry Robson overnight. You'd have thought if they were thinking down that road, they'd start to, you know, look at one or two things. But as I say, big businesses do headhunt people. Maybe that's the modern way.
Yeah, Burnley 0, Fulham 1. Yelpayinya with a goal on 18 minutes. Let's get back round the grounds and let's get to Ibrox. Derek Ferguson, is it fairly constant pressure from the home side?
Yeah, pretty much so, Kenny. But, you know, give credit to Livingston at times when they get the opportunity to get forward, they try, but they've not created anything of note. But you just think it's, for me, the way ahead for Rangers is, you know, they've got the three centre backs, three big boys. Obviously they're playing five at the back. You know, Silva's trying to occupy them, so if you can get Matondo, McCausland 1v1, obviously McCausland against Penrice away over in that right hand side, and then in this with Matondo going up against Jamie Brandon. So I think that would be kind of their best ploy. But they've put a few balls into the box, and you know, so far Livingston, they have dealt with them, and they're just having a little moment here, getting themselves up the park. But Rangers look as if they're going on the break again.
Right, so a couple of...
Kenny,
on you go, Michael, yeah?
Sorry, I was just going to touch on the...
real chance here for St Johnstone, Kenny.
Yeah.
I don't know how Tony Gallagher's not missed that one. It's a lovely ball over the top. He's played on the last defender. He's got in behind, and he really has to score from inside the penalty box, and he's just put it inches over the crossbar of George Wickens. Best chance of the game so far, going for the wayside.
Michael, your thoughts on Aberdeen?
Well, you know, the fact is that they're a big club, and they're going to obviously attract a lot of people with interest in wanting to take the job. But the way things have been handled over the last, you know, few years since Dave Cormack's come in, nobody can dispute he has put money in. But there's managers who are clearly going to be concerned with what's happened since Derek McInnes has left, and even the way that Derek McInnes was eventually shown the door at the club. You know, they left. I think Derek himself, when you speak to him, recognises that he probably was wanting and needing to move on, and he's doing a great job at Kilmarnock now. But then you've got a quick turnaround in Stephen Glass after David been speaking about how he was going nowhere, this was a project, he was sticking behind him, then he was gone. Jim Goodwin, he had a nightmare month, 6 weeks, and he was gone. And Barry Robson, wonderful interim period, gave him the job before the end of the season, which I still don't really understand why they did that. And since then it's never really worked. There's going to be managers looking at this and thinking, come every January, February, they're getting rid of managers. Now, do they want to go and get involved in that? As I said, they're going to be interested because it's a big club.
And they get back financially, Michael. You know, he puts his money in there.
Yes, but there's still, the way things have been handled, managers are going to feel a little bit uncomfortable with that.
I don't think Alan Burrows can have any blame in this one with Robson, because he just joined the club. Robson got the results, it got them into third. It was the obvious candidate. I know that Alan was speaking to other people when that job became available, but he decided to give it to Barry Robson, and rightly so, because of the run he was on. So I don't really blame Alan Burrows on that one, but now he's going to certainly be at the forefront to try and make the decision to bring in the next one.
Kenny, I think the approach they're having now is something they probably should have stuck to their guns with when they appointed Barry Robson as interim manager. They should have said he's there till the end of the season, irrespective of results, and we will judge it at the end of the season. Because after he signed his new contract, I think he won one of his last 7 or 8 games. So there was a clear fall off. That would have given the board a chance to rethink, was he the man for the job? Should they go and look somewhere else? Whereas now, a year on, that's what they're going to do. They're going to give someone the job to the summer. They're not going to give them a new contract, whether they win 9 or 10 games in a row. They'll leave it to the summer and put everything together and evaluate it. That's what they should have done last year. I think they went too early giving Barry the job.
I also think that any manager looking at it, yes, managers have been sacked relatively quickly, but it's results and performances which have caused those decisions to be made. So if any manager worth his salt comes in and is given the backing that Barry Robson was given, you know, they would need to be confident that they can get the results to last longer than a year.
Yeah, I think that's fair comment. So we will find out. They're hoping to make an appointment next week. Some goals going in. Alloa have turned it around very quickly. We had a goal down to Annan Athletic, but they are now 2-1 up. Bobby Wales with their second goal there in that game. That after he's had a double there. He's Bobby Wales in 16 minutes, and then a minute later putting Alloa in front in that game. Also down in England, Luton have equalised away at Newcastle. Osho with a goal on 21 minutes. That's one apiece. Burnley 0, Fulham 2. Munoz on 21 minutes. That's you up to date with the latest scores. Let's
continue.
Going
to have a change, Kenny.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's Balogun. He's up the tunnel with the doctor. It's a little clash, accidental with Big Nubly. So he took a head knock, so he looked a little bit unsteady on his feet. So I think it's obviously Suter that's going to come on and replace him. Probably sensible to get him off, because he didn't look pretty good, you know, going up there. The doctor had a long look at him and decided, no, your game's finished.
Yeah, he was down for quite some time there, you'd have to say.
Kenny, who's that specialist company you were talking about that the Aberdeen have employed?
So I don't know the name of the company.
I'll give you one. I'll give you a company. Miller and McLeish. Go and speak to them. They'll sort it out. They'll give you names. They'll give you good advice. Cost you nothing.
No, listen, I think I'm told it's elite performance consultants. Yes.
Brilliant play. Played into the man, Lawrence Shanklin. He's got his back to goal. Goes one way, checks back onto his left foot, hits it off the post and away. Good play by Shanklin.
So strong, Alan, isn't he?
Brilliant.
Just takes the ball in and bullies two or
That's
three.
What he's got better at.
Yeah,
Rory, honestly.
absolutely.
His link up, his hold up's been a lot better.
It's
really good.
half a chance to begin with, but it gets to the point where you're thinking that's a massive chance for Shanklin. He works the chance well, just screws it wide.
Have Hearts been in top generally, Alan?
Not really. There's not been much in it. Just that little chance here good chance here for Shanklin that he created himself. Dundee have got any decent positions. Beck looks quality, as we all know. He's a very good player. Great for them getting him back. It's been quite an even match so far, just with that little half chance here for Shanklin.
St Mirren with early advantage at Easter Road. Let's get back to Michael Stewart. What's happening there now, Michael?
The home side are getting the home fans are getting a wee bit restless. Obviously St Mirren are 1-0 up, and Hibs have been a wee bit wasteful. They've turned the ball over on a few occasions just with slack passes trying to get the ball forward. They've moved things around at the top end of the park. It was Eli Yuhan that started at centre forward, but he swapped with Molida. He's now up top, and they're just trying to find a way to break down St Mirren. But at the moment they're not really doing that. And as I said, they've been a wee bit wasteful in possession, and on occasions it's looked as if St Mirren might be able to break them down again. So it's still 1-0 to St Mirren.
Newcastle United back in front at home to Luton. Sean Longstaff on 23 minutes. Check, was something happening in your game there?
This is great stuff, this game. And the wind is, at the one hand, destroying it, and on the other hand, making it, because the mistakes are happening all over the place. The goal that Ayr United scored certainly was wind assisted. Jamie Murphy, and a couple of opportunities at the other end. Glenn Middleton with a run and a free kick in the wake of that caused trouble for Ayr United. Scott Brown is compulsory viewing on the touchline now. He's gone mental. They've just had a 2-1 break. Murphy and McKenzie for Ayr United got forward eventually. One defender for Dundee United snuffed it out, but Scott Brown he goes, the energy he puts into the games must be matched when he was actually playing. He's great viewing, going nuts down there.
Kilmarnock have the early advantage thanks to Lewis Mayo away at Fir Park. Are they still very much in top there, Stephen?
Well, I think even when they scored, Kenny, they weren't really in top. There's very little between the teams. Clearly, when you get the goal, it means you're a bit more settled in the game. They don't have to force the issue. They can drop off the game and allow Motherwell a little bit of the ball, because Motherwell don't really have a creative player. When you look at the midfield four of Andy Halliday and Blair Spittle's decent with it. Zdravkovsky as well in there. He's very tight, very compact, but they don't have anyone who can go and eliminate an opponent and make something happen. So it's very up and down the pitch, very straightforward for Motherwell. Kilmarnock are dealing with that, and Kilmarnock got another set play. Something Motherwell haven't done well this season is defend set plays well enough, and they make a hash of that. Thankfully they get away with it, but it's still 1-0 to Kilmarnock and they're comfortable.
Was that a chance in your game, Alan?
Yeah, it was a chance for Dundee this time. Good play by McCowan down the left hand side, whips it in. There's Bakayoko coming across front of the defender. Decent contact but straight. It's Xander Clark. 0-0 here still at Dens.
Ross County are at home to St Johnstone this afternoon. Who looks the more likely there, Ian Auld?
At the moment it's fairly even, Kenny.
What a run!
It's pricked up in the last couple of minutes. But Ross County are starting to come into the game now. Very impressed with the midfield duo of Eli King
and Terry Jenks, of course, new signings in the last couple of weeks. But yeah, plenty of energy from both sides. Jan Danda, as you'd imagine, controlling things for Ross County. In fact, he's on the ball at the moment. Lovely through ball for Simon Murray, real chance. Oh, defender just got the block, and Jan Danda fires it over the crossbar. Yep, Ross County coming back into it now, Kenny.
Yeah, good stuff. Sounds quite exciting there, Alan. Another chance for you.
That was Alan Forrest this time. Really good run, jink and run, beating 2 or 3 men. He's in the box, and it's a brilliant save by Trevor Carson, diving low to his right hand side. Good goalkeeping, good play all round.
It's that left hand side of Dundee's defence again. You get far too easy. I think it's the same 3 players, Alan. A little bit too easy. Can happen once, but not twice.
See, because the thing is, Beck's playing virtually as well. He's
a winger.
Aye, he's way up, high up the park. Oh, chance, goal for Dundee. Shaughnessy, is it not? Or McGee, is it? Hold on. I think it's McGee coming in at the back post. It's a brilliant cross in. And there's Jordan McGee flying in with his header back across Xander Clark into the back of the net. We've got 25, almost 26 minutes on the clock. Dundee 1, Hearts 0.
Yeah, he scored a beautiful goal at Tynecastle a couple of weeks ago, but that was off the head. It's a lovely ball, and as you say, Alan, he steals a march on some days, and acres of space, far too much space from Hearts' point of view, puts them one up.
Yeah, what a season they're having on the return to the top flight. Again, Tony Dock looks to have recruited really well at Dundee. They were poor in the first half, you'd have to say it, but Georgie, but much better on Tuesday evening and thoroughly deserving of their point in that game. So let's continue around the grounds. That's a big goal for Dundee there at home to Hearts this afternoon.
Let's get back. Forrest, sorry Ken, it's Alan Forrest. He's 3 yards deeper than everybody else, every other defender.
Yeah, right, let's then hear from Chick Young. You're really enjoying your day out down at Somerset Park, Chick?
Yes, I am. I have to say at the moment Anton Dowds isn't. He was a crunching tackle from Kevin Holt. Holt immediately put his hands up to apologise. It just ill-timed, and the fact that referee hasn't even booked him. Dowds is now up again after treatment. Game at 7-4. Remember that Ayr United are leading by a goal to nil. Murphy in the first minute of the game, towards the end of the first minute, put Ayr United ahead. It's been end to end, and Dundee United getting into it a little bit. But you know, a huge crowd incidentally, Kenny, inside Somerset Park this afternoon. Dundee United bringing a big support down from Tayside, and they really are responding in this town to the appointment of Scott Brown as manager. Great stuff at the moment. It's 1-0 Ayr United. Another foul there right on the halfway line, and I tell you what, I think there'll be a few bookings in this game. Craig Sibbald with the badge foul that time. Still 1-0 to Ayr United.
Chick, is there any tension between Scott Brown and Jim Goodwin? Because I think Jim got rid of Scott when he was at Aberdeen, and I don't know if there was anything between them or whether that was just a move that he moved on. So that would have been interesting to keep your eye on that. Indeed,
they're both entertaining characters on that, and the touchline here at Somerset. Craig, you'll know that there's a fair distance between them. So I'll keep my eye on it now, though, and I've certainly caused some trouble between them. Now you pointed it out.
Yeah, I'm not sure who my money will be on in that one, really.
Oh, I don't know. A difficult one.
Right, let's get to East End Park. Dunfermline at home against Morton. What's happening there, Cassim?
Not too much in relation to the action, but the Green at Morton just continue to press. Dunfermline are trying their best to get the ball on the ground and look for some passes, but they have to keep going backwards rather than forwards. Robbie Crawford, George Oakley and Robbie Muirhead are just continuing to develop. Goal.
Yep, chance.
That's a chance for Dundee against Bakayoko, causing a bit of concern on the left-hand side. Cuts inside, he's shot. Frankie Kent's over to block it. The Dundee fans in front of me want a handball. Not for me. Corner to Dundee, who are on top, 1-0 up.
Right, let's get back to the Championship and get to Inverness Carry Thistle against Queen's Park. Who's in control of that one, John Robertson?
Neither, to be fair. As I said, it's both teams. It's really windy, blustery up here. Both teams are trying their hardest to knock it about. They're both very comfortable in possession. Nothing really to threaten the goalkeepers. Thomas hit a fierce drive, a couple of yards over the bar, and then there was a patent free kick straight at Mark Ridgers, comfortable. For Inverness, Cammy Kerr got forward, but he shot wide before. Probably the best move there, got them to edge of box, and Charlie Gilmore's shot was blocked off. But both teams are trying their hardest to get forward. Samuel looks really lively up front for Inverness with Billy Mackay. Peyton McKinstry and Thomas the same up their end. So it's a decent enough game considering the conditions, but as yet, still 0-0.
So the latest scores in the Premiership with the lunchtime kick-off finish: Aberdeen 1, Celtic 1, Dundee 1, Hearts 0, Hibs 0, St Mirren 1, Motherwell 0, Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 0, Livingston 0, Ross County 0, St Johnstone 0. In the Championship, Ayr United 1, Dundee Dundee United 0,
chance again.
Dunfermline 0, Morton 1, Inverness Cally Thistle 0, Queen's Park 0. In League 1, Annan Athletic 1, Alloa Athletic 2, Edinburgh City 0, Kelty Hearts 1, Queen of the South 0, Hamilton Accies 0, Stirling Albion 0, Cove Rangers 0. In League 2 this afternoon, Bonnyer Groves 0, Stranraer 0, Clyde 0, Peterhead 0, Elgin City 0, East Fife 0, Forfar 1, Spartans 0, Stennismuir 0, Dumbarton 0. Was that another chance for you, Alan?
It's another chance for Dundee, but it's a corner to them, and Owen Beck places the ball outside the triangle. We're sitting here watching it. The Hearts fans are going mad. So if that goal had gone in, VAR would have had a check on it to see if there was any infringement, and the ball's certainly out. He's now had another one, which has done the same again, but it was a chance. It was a good header by McGee, and it's went to Mellon. He's got his back to go, he flicks it, and it's just knocked off the line away for another corner to Dundee.
Right, let's get back to Ibrox. What's happening there, Derek Ferguson?
Just Rangers keep knocking at the door, but that door ain't opening from Livingston. They're defending ever so well, certainly their box, but Rangers have getting a kind of a way of playing, and it's kind of a little bit too one pace. I just think they've got to pick the pace up round about that 18-yard box, whether that's taking people on or whether playing maybe one-touch football, because as soon as you take a touch or another touch, the Livingston players are getting close to them. So they've defended their box ever so well, but again Rangers get little opportunities. I think you just take a strike as well at goals, a little deflection, but they're playing the same way. It's quite methodical at the moment, with no real joy, so they've got to try and find something. Sometimes it's not from the manager, Kenny, even the players, just a little give and go, one touch football, or just if you get half a yard round about that 18-yard box, have a shot. But another side, Livingston defending really well at the moment.
Brighton 2,
I think there's a penalty being given here at Easter Road.
Yep.
Yeah, it definitely is. I have no idea what it's for. I don't think anybody knows. Willie Collum pointing to the spot, whether it's been a handball or something, but it was a long ball into the box. It got knocked down. There was a strike from one of the St Mirren players. It got blocked, but the Hibs player was literally like about a foot in front of him.
Goal, St Johnstone!
Yes, take it away, Ian.
And it's our first goal for Benjamin Kimpioka. A long clearance. Will Nightingale missed it midway through the Ross County half, and Kimpioka drilled in, nice footwork, and beat the goalkeeper. 1-0 St Johnstone.
Kasim.
Jack Baird, a tap-in again, this time at a left-hand post. I think it came off his knee. Long throw in from the right-hand side. And the score here now, Dunfermline Athletic 0, Greenock Morton 2, well in control.
Yeah, what a season they are having. Rory, the chance to have another look there at this. Is it still waiting?
So it's not the second one, Michael, it's the first one that comes down. It looks extremely harsh to me. I mean, you could argue his hand maybe isn't in a particularly natural position, but he's jumping, he's on the way down, and it just looks like it skiffs his arm or his hand. It looks very, very harsh to me. Let me just get who it was. It was Triantis, the new signing. It's just as it falls, his arm's up.
They've given it.
Yeah.
The right
They've
call.
given it.
It's difficult. So the ball hits the striker's foot and his arm's up. To be honest, in the current laws,
that's a giveaway. The minute it's up, they say handball.
It's tucked in. His arm's tucked into his elbow, and then his forearm is up.
2-0 to St Mirren.
Very harsh.
Right down the middle. Right down the middle. David Marshall dives low to his left, and Kilty straight down the middle. 2-0 to St Mirren.
Well, very interesting to see the reaction of the home fans there. They've done a lot of business in this transfer window, but the guys were saying today and last week it's just not really clicked so far, you'd have to say, for Nick Montgomery. So Kimpioka, that goal for St Johnstone, 1-0 up away at Ross County, that on 34 minutes. Well. Jack Baird, 34 minutes. A second for Morton away at Dunfermline. Brighton 3-0 up at home to Crystal Palace, and St Mirren ahead through the capital. Gogic on 18 and Kilty from the penalty spot following up. Rory, that's a big test now for the home players.
Yeah, it is. Kimpioka's goal was excellent. I mean, it's not dissimilar to Miovski's, coming in at more of an angle, but the double step over does the defender and he tucks it away beautifully. Really, really good goal. We thought it would be tight up there today. St Johnstone taking early lead.
Yeah, they certainly do. Let's then get back to Fir Park. What's happening there, Stephen?
Yeah, not an awful lot, Kenny. It's a bit of a grind, I have to say. It's two teams really battling and scrapping. There's no fluency, and I know Derek Ferguson, I think, spoke about the pitch a couple of weeks ago. It's clearly been impacted by the poor run of weather we've had, whether it's frost and snow and hail and rain. The pitch looks a little bit bare, and it's not kind of suitable for conducive football. So it's a scrap in the battle. Kilmarnock are quite happy to stand and head it and kick it. Motherwell were quite happy to stand and head it and kick it. Just lacking a little bit of invention for both teams, but Kilmarnock are happy because they're leading.
Another chance for you, Chick.
Oh, it was a fantastic save from Charlie Alwinson in their United goal. It's a little bit of ping pong across the box. Eventually falls for Witherspoon. Takes the first time with the inside of his left foot. And how the goalkeeper got to that, I do not know. An absolutely magnificent save. Meanwhile, away to my left on the United. Dundee United touchline, that is, there's treatment of an United player has gone down. It must have been some time ago, because the players raged on. The referee stopped the game to run the full length of the park. This will be restarted with a goal kick for United, but away the total length of the park, there's treatment going on for a United player. Will identify he's up now. I don't know if it's maybe Anton Dowd's up there, but in any case, play will be restarted. The referee runs back, and after all that, it's still 1-0 to Ayr United.
Let's get back to Alan Preston at Dens Park. The home side, good value for their advantage, Al?
They certainly are now, Kenny. They've got a real grip in this game. They've created chances. The front two, Bakayoko and Mellon, are causing all sorts of concern. McCowan in the middle of the park. Beck getting forward from the left back area. Yeah, they're certainly on top. When they were on top at Tynecastle a couple of weeks back, but 2 up, lost the game. So Hearts will be hoping to try and get back in it, but Dundee are looking very, very good value for their 1-0 win at the moment.
In terms, Alan, of the business done by Hearts in the transfer window, what do you make of that?
I think the big one was keeping Shanklin, although there was no bids for him, but I think keeping him is imperative. I think Boyce is out injured for a long period of time again, not long, but a few months maybe. So there's problems there. They don't have any other strikers, so keeping him was very important. Getting Fraser in, we've seen him at Dundee United, not seen him since he's been down south, so that'll be an interesting one. And I quite like the right wing back. I think he looks decent. So no, it's been not a bad window. They've not had great windows in recent years, I would say, Hearts, but this one looks to be okay. Keeping Roland Shanklin's a big one. And for you, Alan, the best bit of business in terms of arrivals in the window? I think you've got to, if Van Veen can replicate the form he showed at Motherwell, I think you've got to say that could be it. But again, it's ones that have Hearts keeping Shanklin, Celtic keeping Matt O'Reilly, ones like that are big. But some of the ones annoy me, and last year Hearts done it with Garang Cool, bringing him in. Theo Best through one-on-one. What does he do? Oh, he slots it home. What a finish by Theo Bear. Composure. Sometimes centre forwards get too much time to think about it and they end up taking touches. He just slaughtered it under Will Dennis. The two Kilmarnock central defenders, I think it's Joe Wright and Stuart Finlay, they try and run out when Blair Spittler's got lots of time in the ball. It'll be interesting to see if he's actually beat the offside trap. But it's a goal out of nothing, and Motherwell could be back level. Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 1.
He looked comfortably onside to me, Craigs, I must say, and it's a really good finish, as you say, and a lovely first time pass by Spittle to put him through, because that needs to be done early so that he beats the offside trap. I've not seen a replay, but the first time I seen it, it did look live, it did look like it was onside.
It's one of those ones, Rory, because he looks that far ahead of the defenders and the crossover, by the time the ball reaches him, you think he's about 3-4 yards offside, but when you see it back then, he actually isn't. But I was just making some notes for half-time saying Motherwell need a little bit of pace, a little bit of creativity and some variation in the play. And lo and behold, they go and get a goal. Everything I was writing down. So back level.
Yeah. Two big chances up here, Inverness first. Nathan Shaw had a shot blocked on the 6-yard line before Charlie Gilmore smashed one from 20 yards, just went over the bar, still 0-0.
No, Kenny, I was saying about you. Last season, Hearts brought Garang Cool from Australia, didn't really get game time. And this year, I think Hibs have signed an 18-year-old for Sunderland. There might be an 18-year-old in their academy sitting shaking his head saying, what about me? You know, it's a fair point. I don't get it. I mean, an awful lot of the business that Hibs have done, an awful lot of loan signings in there, Rory. You were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, well, they've signed 7, 5 are on loans, or on loan. There's been 54 signings in total across all clubs in the top flight, and 34 loans at 63%, so it is quite high. But if you look at the likes of Dundee, they've made great use of the loan market, so it is something that can be very, very good for clubs. But I don't know, bringing that many in halfway through a season, not quite sure.
And it's short term as well.
There's a chance for Dundee United. In fact, a penalty claim for Dundee United. Alec Grieve, who's on loan from St Mirren, cleaned through. He thought he was brought down. He thought he claimed for he did claim for a penalty kick. The referee waved play on, still 1-0 to Ayr United.
Theo Bear with that equaliser from Motherwell. So Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 1. That equaliser on 38 minutes. Luton have equalised away at Newcastle United. Ross Barkley with that goal on.
Chance goal!
It took a while.
Yes,
In fact, it's took 39 minutes race. Yes, Kenny, Rangers take the lead. Wicked corner from Barisic, really difficult to deal with. The ball finds its way to Silva at that kind of back post there. It's an awkward height, but he improvises ever so well on the volley to hook it into the back of the net. And you were thinking, well, I was thinking, there's both sides to this game. Yeah, we all love to see great attacking football, but Livingston have defended absolutely brilliantly, you've got to say. But I didn't see the goal coming, but yeah, it was that delivery, which I think the goalkeeper struggled a little bit. I maybe put that down to conditions, but Fabio Silva gets off the mark, and it's a fine goal, and I think that's what Rangers needed. You've got to say as well, Kenny, just to add it before you're back in, the Rangers fans now in the past, they've not been very patient. I think they've been very patient today.
Yeah, and Derek, just a wee bit of a deflection there, Silva just at the back post. I guess, is there still a check going on there? That I see the Livingston players are talking about high feet or something. I think just look at their body language there. I don't think that Rory's in here with me.
If it's for Fabio Silva's finish, it's not a high foot. Absolutely not.
There's always something going on, Kenny, at corner kicks, and I've always said it before with VAR. If they're looking for something, they could pick something out and say, yeah, there's an obstruction.
So is it maybe when
it happens so fast?
No,
I tell you what, the delivery's brilliant because it's got pace on it, it's in swinging, the keeper can't deal with it, and then the ball, it's like a pinball, it bobbles about.
Has it told you what they're looking at, Derek? I've seen the replay.
I can see looking at
checking for a foul.
Checking for a foul at the back post. It's when Goldson goes in, his feet are quite high. I think it's Andrew Shinnie is claiming that it's when down his thigh. I think that's what they're looking at. I don't think there's much in it.
What you're going to get, that the goal's been given.
Yeah,
but what you'll get, because you've got VAR there, players will, right away, and they'll go and they'll look for something.
His foot is, I don't even think it is high, actually. He just jumps.
It's like
quite rightly given anyway. That goal should stand, absolutely.
Yeah, and Derek, do you know what I've noticed there? Just every time I look up and Rangers have a delivery, and certainly from the corner kicks, as you say, they're right on top of the keeper, and the keeper's done really well up until this point.
Yeah, and it's been difficult. The wind has been swirling. So Barisic, he took a corner kick just previous to it, didn't have the accuracy, didn't have the pace, got a second bite of the cherry, and it was all about the delivery for me.
Every time I look up, Kenny,
I've just seen the replay of that.
Yeah,
I've just seen a replay of that penalty kick that was given to Easter Road. That's a nonsense.
Yeah, absolutely.
You agree with that, Rory?
Rory was saying it was harsh. I mean, Triantis is trying to get back in to make a challenge. The ball just flicks up, and there's a third. Oh my word!
It's been coming.
Corner kick comes in. I think it's Mikel Mandron at the back post, completely unmarked. David Marshall tries to come out, he gets blocked by a number of his own bodies that are there. Mandron coming in at the back post, taps it in 3-0. Yeah, I heard you there. Yes, it's like it's the direction of play is predominantly down towards Hibs' goal. But going back, I mean, look, Hibs have not been great. The second goal, a penalty kick, Willie Collum gives that straight away. The VAR needs to be looking at that, and why on earth they give. What is he meant to be doing? He's done nothing wrong. The ball's flicked off his hand. It's not a penalty kick.
I'm just looking at the close-ups from the St Mirren fan, make sure my boy's behaving himself in there, but they're going absolutely wild. What a first-half performance, Rory.
Yeah, unbelievable. But Michael is right. The second goal, in terms of the penalty, if you're coming back down after jumping and the balls went over your head, you've no idea where the ball is. There's clearly no intent there. And you cannot tell me that you could tell a human being one way or another what is a natural position when you're coming down after jumping in a box full of players. It's just ridiculous.
I also think Michael
on the attack again, straight from the corner. He's into the box. Kilty.
Michael, what do you make about the amount of changes at the bay? Do you think it's too many? Is that almost unsettling for a side when that many new players come in one window?
I thought you were about to say the game. There's only 3 changes. You mean in the window?
Yeah, aye.
Possibly. The bigger concern is obviously the discussion about the number of loans, because then you get to a situation where when you've got so many loans in a team, it can become a little bit unsettling. There isn't a real core to the team, or the core is very, very limited. And when I look at Hibs, I'm looking and seeing who are the leaders, who are the mainstays in the team, and that's the problem at this moment in time. Hibs just look a little bit rudderless, and I go right back to, I think Alan said it earlier on there, be careful what you wish for. Derek McInnes's time at Aberdeen himself would say it as well. There was time for change, but the way he was handled, the way he was treated at the end was poor. Hibs with Jack Ross, I still can't get my head around it. That club, behind the scenes, there'd been a lot of changes, but they were moving in the right direction. They had an identity with what they're trying to do. They were identifying players domestically. They were bringing them in. They weren't all going to work, but there was a clear idea of what they were doing. Now, scattergun. There is no
Great
identity.
save.
And
yeah, Kassim, is that you?
No, it's Alan again.
Sorry,
It's good
Alan,
play
sorry.
by Hearts. Forrest to Cochrane. It's a really good hit from Cochrane from the left back area. Great save again from Carson. He's such an important player
here's a
for them.
chance. Almost fallen at the back post for I think it was Boyamono at the back post. Just very close to being able to land at his feet, and he could have got another strike away, but it drifts away for a throw at the far side.
And the fan reaction, Malcolm, you wouldn't be surprised to see some fans leaving. Yes, thanks, Chick.
Yeah, half-time at Somerset Park in trouble for the league leaders. It's Ayr United 1-0 ahead against Dundee United.
Half-time in Dingwall, Ross County 0, St Johnstone 1.
Thank you.
Every time the ball goes into Hibs' box, there's getting, defensively missing it, strikes away. That one there, just a simple ball in. I think it was Triantis, doesn't he deal with it, and Mandron getting a strike away just past the post.
You're right,
big changes needed.
Second for Rangers. It's a little deflection. It's Matondo, does ever so well, gets into the box, just cuts in right foot, and he's trying to find that far left-hand corner. Gets a little help, little deflection. The keeper's never going to get there. He's rooted to the spot, so I think that's game, set and match. I don't see Livingston going to peg this back, so Rangers into a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, they're going through a dreadful time.
Inverness 0-0.
Thanks, Robbo. So just some goals going in. Big goal for Clyde. Barry Cuddihy with the goal. 43 minutes. Clyde 1, Peterhead 0. Just confirmation, as Michael was telling us, Mandron that goal, the third goal for St Mirren in 44 minutes. But my goodness, they've had so many chances. Half time, Coon of the South 0, Hamilton Accies 0, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Stranraer 0. Also half time, Edinburgh City 0, Kelty Hearts 1. Elgin City has scored right in the stroke of half time. Brian Cameron has given them a 1-0 advantage over East Fife. Ross County 0, St Johnstone 1. We got that. Also half time, Stenhousemuir 0, Dumbarton 0. Steny, of course, the runaway leaders in League 2.
Half time for Park Kenny, Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 1.
Thanks to Stephen. Yeah,
half time at Dundee. Dundee deservedly 1-0 up against Hearts.
So thank you to Alan. So half time confirmed, Clyde 1, Peterhead 0. As Chick was telling us, Ayr United 1, Dundee United 0. Also half time, Forfar Athletic 1, Spartans 0, Stirling Albion 1, Cove Rangers 0.
Half time at East End Park, Dunfermline Athletic 0, Greenock Morton 2.
And that's the same scoreline in the English Premier League. Burnley 0, Fulham 2. That one has reached half time, and that is you right up to date with all the
Willie
latest
Collins
scores.
just blowing his whistle at Easter Road, half time, 3-0 to St Mirren.
Thank you to Michael Stewart. Annan Athletic 1, Alloa Athletic 2. Annan were ahead early on in that game. Robbo telling us Inverness Cally Thistle 0, Queen's Park 0. That is half time. That goal for Rabi Matondo, Rangers second, coming in the 47th minute, but a few delays there. There was a VAR check and a couple of lengthy injury delays in that game. Newcastle United 2, Luton Town 2. That is a half-time score. We heard from Stephen Craig and Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 1. Half-time now, Elgin City 1, East Fife 0, Dundee 1, Hearts 0. Dundee very, very good in that game. We just heard from Kassim, Dunfermline Athletic 0, Greenock Morton 2. My goodness, what a run Morton are on under Dougie Emery, comfortably into the playoff spots in the Championship. The story of the day could be developing at Easter Road. Hibs 0, St Mirren 3, and my goodness, it could have been so much more for their wayside through there at Easter Road. Fantastic from Stephen Robinson. Said they of course had that huge disappointment. They were in a big chance of getting Kevin Van Veen.
Yeah. That's half time, Kenny. Rangers 2, Livy 0.
Thanks to Derek Ferguson. As Derek said, it could be curtains already for Livy. They're having a dreadful campaign, 6 points adrift at the bottom of the table at the start of today's play. So all the half-time reaction coming up on Sports, and stay with us. We're with you right through until 7 o'clock on BBC Radio Scotland.
All the action.
From all the biggest games.
This is Sports Sound.
Oh, it's a goal!
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Another goal!
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. Before we get some meat on these half-time scores, I will give them to you now. Dundee 1, Hearts 0, Hibs 0, St Mirren 3, Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 2, Livingston 0, Ross County 0, St Johnstone 1. The full-time scoreline from the lunchtime kick-off. My goodness, watch Sports Team tonight. It was a terrific second half at Pittodrie. It finished Aberdeen 1, Celtic 1. Into the Championship, 3 games today, all covered on Open All Mics. Ayr United 1, the leaders Dundee United 0, Dunfermline 0, Morton 2, Inverness Cally Thistle 0, Queen's Park 0. Into League 1, Annan Athletic 1, Alloa Athletic 2, Edinburgh City 0, Kelty Hearts 1, Queen of the South 0, Hamilton Accies 0, Stirling Albion 1, Cove Rangers 0. In League 2, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Stranraer 0, Clyde 1, Peterhead 0, Elgin City 1, East Fife 0, Forfar Athletic 1, Spartans 0, and the leader Stenhousemuir 0, Dumbarton 0. In England this afternoon, Brighton 3, Crystal Palace 0, Burnley 0, Fulham 2, Newcastle United 2, Luton Town 2. The lunchtime kick-off finished Everton 2, Spurs 2, a late equaliser for the home side there. A 5:30 start, Sheffield United at home to Aston Villa. That's you up to date with all the latest scorelines across the country this afternoon. Rory Loy is alongside me in the studio this afternoon. Rory, the game that springs to mind every time the pair of us have looked up, and we've heard it from Michael Stewart there on Open All Mics. St Mirren, wave after wave of attack at Easter Road.
Yeah, and that's no exaggeration at all, Kenny. You know, every time I looked up, they missed, one-on-ones. They've obviously scored 3 goals. They do get fortunate with a penalty, in my opinion. Yes, you could. I mean, I don't even know if under the laws that should be a penalty, because it's a natural movement based on the play which develops, but it was given. It went to 2-0 and Hibs simply didn't cope. They did not cope whatsoever. So, St Mirren on the road to a massive 3 points, and they need the 3 points as well, and Dundee as well showing their credentials with winning at half time against Hearts and a good performance, and massive goal for St Johnstone as well. Yeah,
St Mirren have been needing the goals. They've been a bit goal shy off late. We'll get some reaction from a Hibs fan later in the programme. My goodness, they must be seriously concerned. Is Nick Montgomery the man that they want? With this investment coming into the club as well, is he the man to be entrusted to build a squad there? We'll get reaction to that later on. Our online commentary this afternoon comes from Ibrox. Rangers against Livingston. Let's hear from Paul Mitchell.
And it's Rangers 2, Livingston 0. It took Rangers a while, having started really quickly. A Ryan Jack shot provided some early entertainment, but don't know, for the corner. With another great ball, and the goalkeeper Shamal George, well, he's had a couple of bits of great goalkeeping to deny Ryan Jack and others, but it's been tough for Livingston at the other end. Jack Butland has just had no work to do whatsoever. Livingston simply cannot get forward to put any pressure. To be fair to them, they have dealt with the pressure well at the other end, but the breakthrough came after the 41st minute. Corner from the right hand side, swung back across, and there was Fabio Silva falling down, but he got his shot away for his second goal of the season, his first coming for Wolves against Blackpool in the League Cup, and his first Rangers goal, and boy did he look delighted about it. And then Livingston, well, they needed to get to half time, just one down, but it wasn't to be. Rabbi Matondo, who's had a good game in flashes, at times he's been a bit frustrating and not taking on the defenders, cut inside, got his shot away, appeared to pick up a deflection, and Shamal George could only watch as it nestled in the corner of the net. Rangers happy, they're ahead at half time. Rangers 2, Livingston 0.
Yeah, the home side in control there at Ibrox. The home side also with the advantage at Dens Park. Dundee up against Hearts there for us. Alan Preston.
20 minutes, Kenny, then Hearts had the first real chance of the game, and the ball was played into Lauren Shanklin's feet. He quickly turned and got a left foot shot away, which crashed off the post and away. But then Dundee started to take a grip in the game, and McCowan crossed. I've got to say, young McCowan, he's come in from being suspended midweek, has been quite superb in that opening period. His cross from Bakayoko, but his effort was well saved by Xander Clark. Back up the other end, it was Hearts this time. It's Forrest with a jink and run, beating 2 or 3 men, but his left foot shot was well saved by Carson, diving to his right hand side. The only goal came in 26 minutes, a brilliant cross again by McCowan, and there's Jordan McGee getting inside Alan Forrest, and a header back across Xander Clark into the back of the net, giving the keeper absolutely no chance. Dundee were on top, and a McGee header again flicked on by Mellon. and just wide of the target, but Hearts almost equalised in the 45th minute. Cochrane was through, left foot shot across the keeper, brilliantly saved by Carson. Good stuff. Dundee deserve to be ahead. Dundee 1, Hearts 0.
Thank you to Alan Preston. What a return they're having to the top flight. A great job being done there by Tony Docherty. Next stop, Easter Road. My goodness, a real story developing there. Hibs against St Mirren. There for us, Michael Stewart.
Yeah, story developing, and it's not one the home support would have been wanting either, with one win in the last 7 in the league. This is a game that they really were looking to win to try and kick-start things, but very early on Alex Gogic nodded the away side in front coming back to Easter Road. He had the freedom of the 6-yard box just to knock it into the back of the net. David Marshall had no chance, and really from that point on Hibs have just started to become wasteful, not being able to string much together, and the performance is disintegrated. Having said all that, when it got to about half an hour, you're thinking to yourself, if Hibs are able to get into half time at 1-0 down and regroup, things would be okay. But on 34 minutes, penalty kick was given. Now I'm just not having it at all. The ball came into the box. The new signing Triantis was backtracking and trying to jump up to challenge for the ball. I think it was Mikel Mandron. It flicked off, and then it touches Triantis' arm. Never a penalty kick, but Willie Collins straight away points to the penalty spot. VAR said yes, right decision, and up stepped Greg Kilty to just pass it straight down the middle of the goal and into the back of the net and make it 2-0. The home support were very, very boisterous, not happy with how things have been going. And to make matters worse, on 44 minutes, just before the half-time whistle, it was a corner kick. Ball came in from the left-hand side to the back post, and unmarked Mandron just taps it into the back of the net. Terrible defending from Hibs. That has been the Achilles heel here today. It's been the Achilles heel for quite some time. They're going to have to start to turn things around and defend better if they've got any hope of getting something in this second half. 3-0 to St Mirren.
Yeah, Michael's spoken a lot in the programme about that. They just haven't addressed their issues at the back, and every time St Mirren go forward, they're cutting that defence wide open. Let's see what develops in the second half at Easter Road. Let's get to Fir Park. A decent game there, you'd have to say. Motherwell against Kilmarnock, watched by Stephen Craigan.
Yeah, Ken, I've got to say, for a game that's lacked cohesion and quality, the 2 goals that have been scored this afternoon have been the polar opposite of those descriptive words. It was Kilmarnock that took a lead after 12 minutes. It was Lewis Mayo, wonderful strike with his left foot, his so-called weaker foot, his left foot, from about 20 yards from a defensive corner from Motherwell, landed on the edge of the box. He fizzed it in, crashed off the left-hand post of Liam Kelly, and I think the surprise in Lewis Mayo's face told the story. He wasn't expecting that, but it really was a wonderful strike in a game that was going nowhere at that stage. Motherwell equalised 8 minutes before half-time. The man of the moment for them, Theo Bair, with his 7th goal of the season. He slid the ball under Will Dennis in goal, but it was Blair Spittle who was the instigator. Perfectly timed pass, perfectly weighted pass that just opened up a static back line off Kilmarnock, and Theo Bair done the business. I mean, I'm looking around at Danilo, I think's got 4 or 5 goals, and Ellie Yuhan and at Celtic have got less goals than what Theo Bair's got, and he's come in for a lot of criticism, but he's been the man this season. Now that Michael Beireth has disappeared, he's keeping Motherwell alive in this relegation battle, so there's plenty to play for in this second half. It's finally poised. I've no doubt that if the game stays as it is, Derek McInnes will look to his bench. He will see Greg Stewart, he will see Kevin Van Veen, so there's plenty of danger there for Motherwell to come. But half-time at Fir Park, it's Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 1.
Speaking of that relegation battle, let's get to Dingwall. A big game there today. Ross County at home to St Johnstone. Our reporter is Ian Auld.
Yeah, first St Johnstone goal for Benjamin Kimpioka. The difference between the break for these two teams at the break, Kenny. The Swedish striker pounced on a mistake from Will Nightingale, who failed to deal with a long ball into his half. When County were on the attack, Kimpioka used his pace to race in behind and showed fancy footwork in the box before placing the ball beyond George Wickens into the bottom left-hand corner. Staggies wing-back James Brown has had the best chances for the home team. He drilled wide inside the opening couple of minutes after being teed up by George Harman. And just before the break, Eli King set up Brown, who could only shoot straight at Dimitar Mitov. The home team with it all to do at the interval, half-time. In fact, we're almost about to start the second half, but it's Ross County 0, St Johnstone 1.
Thank you to Ian Auld. Let's get into the championship. There are 3 games this afternoon. Let's get to Somerset Park. Ayr United against the leaders Dundee United with Chick Young.
The Scott Brown revolution rumbles along. Ayr United lead Dundee United by a 1-0 at half-time. The goal came in the first minute. It was a free kick by Jamie Murphy. The wind is swirling at Somerset Park and has certainly played its part in taking that ball beyond Jack Walton in the Dundee United goal, beyond him and into the back of the net. And Ayr United have created a lot of chances in the wake of that. Dundee United have gone up the other end, and they too have used wind assistance to cause all sorts of trouble in the 6-yard box of Ayr United. But as the teams come out, it's Scott Brown's side who are in the lead here at Somerset Park to Dundee United by a 0-0.
Thanks to Chick Young. Yeah, they're just outside the playoff spots, 3 points behind Morton. Morton, of course, on a terrific run of form. They do have a game in hand on Ayr United, but a very good start so far for Scott Brown at Ayr United. Let's get to East End Park, Dunfermline at home to Morton with Kassim Sheikh.
Hi, chaps. As expected, Greenock Morton were coming into this, the away side were coming into this game with a lot of confidence, and after 10 minutes, a fantastically worked goal that started on the left-hand side, at least 3 or 4 passes into the box, and Darragh O'Connor was very happy to accept it, to tap it in at the back left post. As the game developed, Dunfermline have tried their best to get the ball on the ground and try to pass, but they seem to keep going backwards. Greenock Morton continue to press, mainly Robbie Crawford, Robbie Muirhead and George Oakley. The physical presence of him up front is causing a lot of problems to Malachi Fagan, Walcott, Chris Hamilton and Xavier Benjamin at the back for Dunfermline Athletic. And then after 34 minutes, a throw in from the right hand side. The big man again, George Oakley, with a header that was well saved by the keeper, and the captain, Jack Baird, was happy to get a nice tap in at the back right hand side post. I'll tell you what, just before half time, Ben Summers had a fantastic chance for Dunfermline Athletic just outside the 6-yard box. Left foot clear, nobody on him, and it just went past the post. I was surprised there wasn't more of a reaction from the home crowd, but as things stand, Dunfermline Athletic now, Greenock Morton 2.
Yeah, concerning times for Dunfermline Athletic, albeit they've got games in hand, St Inverness, Cally Thistle above them, but they're on 24 points. Queen's Park are in the playoff spot with 21 points, albeit they have played a game more, and Queen's Park are away Inverness, Cally Thistle this afternoon. There for us, John Robertson.
Yeah, no goals so far. Both teams trying their best to play some good football here. And it was the visitors who settled early in a couple of shots in the first 15 minutes. First, it was Thomas who drove a fierce shot from 20 yards just over Mark Ridger's bar before a Rory Payton free kick straight at Mark Ridgers saw his only touch of the first half. And the longer the game went on, the more the home side's patient passing the game started to pay dividends, and they finished the half well on top with Nathan Shaw twice having a shot blocked on the 6-yard line, and Charlie Gilmore's flash one just over the bar, and then right on the half-time whistle another shot save was scooped away by Ferry. So the home team finished the half on top, but it's blustery conditions here at Inverness. It's still 0-0.
Thank you to John Robertson for live commentary from Ibrox. Rangers against Livingston, the home side in control there. You can find that online only at bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland. For everyone else, stay with us. Second half commentary to come up. All the games across the country on Open All Mics.
All the grounds, all the goals, all the news.
This is Open All Mics from Sports Sound.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
You're listening to Open All Mics on BBC Radio Scotland. Second half action to come. We're just waiting for that game. We heard from Paul Mitchell there. There's the option of online commentary. There are a few delays in the first half, so we're slightly later getting started there. I can see the pictures coming in, the teams coming out at Dens Park. Dundee with advantage against Hearts. They are underway at Easter Road. We can see that. My goodness, what a story developing there. Just about to kick off at Fir Park, and also underway in Dingwall. St Johnstone with the advantage there away to Ross County. That's a big one as well, Rory, isn't it? You know, we're speaking about the form of St Johnstone under Craig Levein. I've seen a lot of fans not at all happy with the way things have been going, but if they can hang on this afternoon, that would be massive.
Yeah, it would be a massive win against a team which is in and around their position at the moment, and it would open up a bit of daylight from the 2 relegation playoff places and actually put them off only 5 points off the top 6. So, you know, a little bit of momentum and a little bit of encouragement if they can win this, because they're going through a little bit of a sticky spell at the moment.
Yeah, just looking at the live Premiership table, so Celtic top 58 points, Rangers have 55 points. Of course, they have that game in hand. That game is at home to Ross County. Just 3 goals in it in Celtic's advantage in terms of the goal difference. Hearts very comfortable in third spot, 42 points from their 24 games, including today's matches. Kilmarnock 33 points. St Mirren, they move on to 32 points. You can't see anything other than a Saints victory at Easter Road this afternoon. Dundee make up the top 6, 29 points. Hibs have played a game more than Dundee. They're on 26. Aberdeen 25. They have games in hand. St Johnstone 24 points. Motherwell 22 points. Ross County 19 points. You can see how tight that is. Apart from Livingston, they are adrift at the bottom of the table. 6 points adrift of Ross County as things stand. Derek Ferguson, it's such a huge job for them now, just even to contain things in the second half at Ibrox.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult for them. They've made a couple of changes. Newbley and Penrice, he picked up a little injury just towards the break. They're off, and on comes Bruce Anderson and Sean Kelly. Yeah, it's going to be a difficult 45 minutes. I think a lot of the Rangers fans...
Yeah, chance.
What a chance. I think it's for Jordan McGee again. It's a great ball in, and he comes in. Is it him? Well, it might be Ashcroft actually. I think it is Ashcroft. He comes in and he's,
yeah, you're right, Alan Ashcroft.
A look at goal, you know, but 7-8 yards out. Great contact with his right foot on the volley, but blasts it over the bar. What a chance to go 2 up.
Derek, I was just going to ask, how's
Goal!
Yes, Robbo.
It's for the visitors and it's against their run of play, but it's a wonderful finish. Dom Thomas gets the ball on the right hand side. He cuts inside Harper. It looks like he's going to shoot. Savage dives in. He cuts inside Savage again and rifles it past Mark Ridgers from about 16 yards. It's Inverness 0, Queen's Park 1.
Big goal there at the bottom, certainly for Queen's Park. Rory.
Yeah, I was just going to ask Derek how Fabio Silva's done out with obviously the goal. Just generally speaking, how does he look? What type of striker does he look?
He's done pretty well, I've got to say, Rory. You know, he's up against, I says he's occupying the 3 big centre backs, so he's used his body strength really well today, so he's handled the physicality and just little clever runs which he's doing just now, just, you know, comes short and then spins into that little channel. So yeah, you know, I think, but the most important thing, he's got off the mark, you know, with goals. That'll give him huge confidence. But his overall play this afternoon, yeah, it's been good.
Oh, chance for Motherwell. Andy Halliday almost with his first goal. Good in-swinging cross. Free kick it was from Blair Spittle from the left-hand side. Eluded everybody. Andy Halliday round the back. Smart save from Will Dennis. Motherwell started the second half slightly better than Kilmarnock, but it's certainly plenty to play for. I said that, Kenny, and Georgie Gent has been excellent this afternoon.
Yeah.
You know, he was a young man coming from Blackburn, not having a lot of first-team football. He made a mistake just before the winter break at Easter Road when he gave away the second goal. It was a 2-2 draw, and he got criticised a little bit for it. He's now, I think he played midfield in the first game back after the winter break. He's now back at left wing back, and he's ran Danny Armstrong up and down this channel. He doesn't fancy it. Danny Armstrong bottomed down and got booked, so that's been an intriguing battle. But Georgie Gent's been excellent this afternoon.
Guys, I'm just reading through the Premiership table there. So Celtic 58 points, having played 1 game more than Rangers. That's the thing stand as they are at Ibrox this afternoon. Rangers 55 points, just 3 points in it in terms of goal difference. Does anyone make Rangers now favourites for the title, or do you feel the advantage is still very much with Celtic?
I wouldn't say they're favourites.
No, still with Celtic, Derek, but very much in the balance. Or?
Yeah, I think that, listen, they're playing catch up, of course they are. So listen, you go way back, you know, early on in the season, you know, I thought, and that's just my personal opinion, I thought the league was done and dusted. So to be in this position, you know, Rangers, you know, they're really in the mix, and you know, they're in a good place at the moment. So yeah, but I wouldn't call them favourites.
Kenny, Celtic's best 2 performances domestically came against Rangers twice.
Yes, so there's a slight delay in your line, Michael. Sorry, on you go, Michael.
Derek was just talking about you know, that for Rangers to be in the position they're in just now, that is massive, and it is. There's no doubt. The momentum is with Rangers now, and I do think, depending on whether Celtic can get their players back, you heard Brendan Rodgers there talking about our squad will be back soon. They keep breaking down.
Yeah.
You know, Carter Vickers is out again. Hatate's is not going to be fit. These are big players that Celtic are relying on, these guys, squad players that perhaps wouldn't have been expecting to get so much game time, and they've not been up to the task. So it's a big concern for Celtic.
Kenny, Celtic's two best performances domestically at the game against Rangers.
Goal again.
Yes, Kasim, who thought?
Greenock Morton have taken the lead 3-0, and it's that man, Darrell corner again.
Fantastic. Yeah, he got the opener on 10 minutes. Jack Baird with the second on 34 minutes. They are absolutely cruising at East End Park. Dunfermline 0, Morton 3. Stephen?
Yeah, I'm just saying that Celtic know how to win the big games. You know, when it came around early in the season at Ibrox, everyone thought, oh, Rangers. Celtic dominated the game and won the game deservedly. Then it came around again because Philip Clement's side had started really well and they were in good form getting into the game at Celtic Park, and Celtic won it again. So they have the mindset, they know how to win the big games, they know how to win against their rivals. This Rangers group, the new players in, they still have to convince. So for me, Celtic still have the edge.
And it might just come down to those two games, Craigs, because I know Celtic dropped points today, but generally speaking, you would imagine they would pick up points against most outside of Rangers, so it might just come down to those big moments. And I agree with you, I think Celtic mentally have got the edge in those games at the moment.
So full coverage of the midweek card, 2 games on the Tuesday, 4 games on the Wednesday. Rangers are at home to Aberdeen.
It's all going off here, Kenny. It's a real challenge. It's a clash down there. I think it's Jamie Murphy, the challenge. It's Craig Sybil involved as well. There's a lot of pushing and shoving. The players are gathered round here. They've gone across to the linesman asking for advice. Scott Brown is at the linesman now. The referee's going to calm all this down. It has settled a bit, but there was a lot of... They weren't happy about the initial challenge. He's now speaking to Nick McAllister of Ayr United, who's gone over. They said Scott Brown's on the park now. That's going to calm things down, I would think.
Just keep an eye on
Kenny, just to say there was 3
tackle
changes here. Kenny, just to say I've not had an opportunity. 3 changes here at half-time for Hibs, obviously wanting to make sure that things are different in this second half. The manager has rung the changes. Off has gone Tavares, Levitt and Johan. On has come Vente, Mariah Welsh and Mayenda.
Have they clearly
been a little bit better?
Have they clearly been the worst 3, Michael? Did they deserve to go off, or could it have been anybody?
Well, it could have been anybody really, but defensively where the real issues are for Hibs, but they've not got too many options defensively. I've got to say that Mariah Welsh in the middle of the park, he's done more than Dylan Levitt for me even already. He's got on the ball, looking to go forward, demanding it, being a bit more alive and active. I think Dylan Levitt for me has got good ability, but the game drifts past him far too often. And Hibs, when I was saying in the first half, where's their leaders? Where's the folk that are going to take the game by the scruff of the neck? He needs to do more. He's been whipped at half time, and young Welsh is already getting on the ball and trying to dictate things a little bit more. There's more urgency from Hibs. They've clearly had a rocket at half time. This first goal in the second half is massive if they've got any hope of trying to get back into it.
Big goal in League One. Hamilton Accies 1-0 up away at Queen of the South. Kevin O'Hara on 57 minutes there for John Rankin's team. Let's get to Dens Park. Dundee with advantage over Hearts. What's happening in the second half, Alan?
Hearts can't get going and Dundee is comfortable, and Beck getting forward on the left hand side causing all sorts of concern. What a player he is. He's an Andy Robertson clone.
Yeah, he is.
As everyone said that, and it's part of the, just like the first half, it's Dundee on a better side. Without a doubt, Hearts have to make changes because they're not really in this game at the moment, so they'll make some changes.
Yeah, we watched him at Pittodrie on Tuesday night, and the last time I saw him was actually Boxing Day against Celtic at Dens, and he is, as Alan said, he is just like a clone of Andy Robertson. The way he plays, his determination, head down, charging players down, press. He's a special talent, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. I've seen him a good few times this season, and up at Aberdeen was probably the poorest I've seen him, yet he was still very good.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show that his standards, if they do drop, he's still very, very good for the team. Owen Beck, and he made a wee mistake which led to the Aberdeen goal where his head could have went down and stuff, but he got back up from it. And he takes risks with the ball, but he's very good with the ball at his feet, good technically, and he's got some engine on him, and the quality when he gets to the final third is there as well, so he certainly looks like he's got it all.
It's an equaliser. It's from Alan Forrest, but it's all about Shanklin. Once again, he's brilliant. Great feat from Shanklin, but Forrest actually takes it off him, quickly gets turned and rolls it into the back of the net. 1-1 at Dens.
Yeah,
this game, Kenny, is well, just restarted. All that time I was just watching what was happening. Nick McAllister has taken a real bad one to the face in that clash. Ended up with a yellow card for George Stanger and a yellow card for Glenn Middleton. But the fullback McAllister really complaining. He said treatment looks to me as if he might have burst his nose, blood pouring from that. He's gone off for treatment. Scott Brown was in investigating the whole thing. It's restarted, but I tell you what, this game's getting a little bit tasty between Dundee United and Ayr United. Remember, Dundee United ahead by a goal to nil. There's a few challenges all rattling in now. It's going to be quite tasty. Still 1-0 United, Ayr United that is.
Take nothing away from Shankland, but Dundee's defending again, so passive at times, Alan. Oda, Dodgstream should go with Oda. The ball's then played into Shankland. Shaughnessy tries to nick it. He tried to do that on Tuesday and gave away a penalty. He misses it. And then Ashcroft goes to ground far too easily, and Forrest is left with a good finish, but really good footwork from Shankland.
You can imagine Shankland will be raging now because he's beat 4 men and he's facing the goal. Forrest has got his back to the goal and takes it off him.
Thank goodness he scored from Alan Forrest's point of view, but that was really nice, intricate play in the box there to get Hearts on level terms away at Dens Park. We heard from Michael, 3 changes made by Nick Montgomery at half time. Will they get the home side back into the game? It's a real uphill struggle.
Sorry, Kenny, we've got a check here at Dens for what I don't know.
Right, handball I'm hearing, Alan. We look at that. Rory's in the studios. Here we go now. So it's Owen Beckham down the left hand side.
Goal at Eastern Park. Another one for Greenock Morton.
My goodness. Yeah,
4-0 now.
Fantastic. They're absolutely romping away. So try to get another angle here, Alan. It was an Owen Beck cross, but we couldn't see when this angle here. We'll maybe get a better look here, Rory. So Beck down the left hand side, beats his man quite comfortably.
It's not given.
Not given.
No.
It's impossible to see with the angles they're showing us. We can't see a thing, but instinct tells me that that's the correct decision.
Yes, Alan Forrest with that equaliser for the wayside. That on 55 minutes. Jordan McGee had put Dundee ahead on 26 minutes. Let's then get to Fir Park and hear from Stephen Craigan.
Yeah, Kenny, both sides still trying to force the issue. They're going a little bit direct. Centre halves will certainly need a couple of paracetamol tonight because they've headed balls all afternoon. And I'm just looking at the Killie front too, because when you've got 2 quality players on the bench like Greg Stewart and Kevin Van Veen, I would expect Kyle Vassell and Marley Watkins to be really trying and holding the ball up and fighting. I think they've been poor. I think at times the Motherwell back 3 about muscled them, so that'll be a real frustration with Derek McInnes. Because when you bring in new players, you want to add competition for places. Those 2 are making it easy for their manager to make changes this afternoon. Still 1-1.
Go Kenny, it's brilliant play from Rangers. You can see it's been coming. Just McCausland down that right hand side. You're thinking he's just going to whip it into that 6-yard box, but it's a kind of little cut back, and there's Cantwell just timing his run lovely, just coming on it, side foot past the keeper in a flash. So Rangers go 3 up.
Yeah, absolutely cruising there. Fabio Silva, the opener on 40 minutes. Rabbi Matondo, the second, a deflected goal in first half stoppage time. And as Derek Ferguson telling us there, Todd Cantwell with the third there. Rangers cruising. Jack Baird with that 4th goal for Morton. So that's a double for Jack Baird and a double for Dara O'Connor. Dunfermline Athletic 0, Morton 4. Cove Rangers have equalised away at Stirling Albion. Mitch Megginson again, that goal coming on the hour mark, so very much game on there. Luton Town have got 3-2 up away at Newcastle United. Carlton Morris with that goal on 59 minutes. Let's then get into the Championship and a tasty sounding game for you down at Somerset Park, Chick.
Yeah, it's brilliant stuff. That injury to McAllister, he had to go off. As I said, suspected certainly the packed cotton wool in his nose, a lot of blood coming out of that. They've had to make the changes. Jim Goodwin's made a couple of changes for Dundee United as well. Kai Fotheringham and Tony Watt on now as they try to get an equaliser. Ayr United, I must say, Ken, a huge crowd. Somerset Park, 3/4 of the ground absolutely packed. The main stand behind the goals. They're building brand new stand on the far side.
And what a goal that is from Lyle Cameron. Lovely play by Dundee. It's 1-2 between Cameron and McCowan. And he runs forward and he strikes it with his right foot from about 22 yards into the back of the net. Dundee 2, Hearts 1.
He's a player, isn't he? He's a real talent.
He's very, very good. It's his deep runs from midfield, but he can carry the ball as well as run off the ball and make that third man run. And he gets a bit of space there. Interesting to see it. I don't know if Xander Clark maybe be slightly disappointed, possibly not. I'll need to see it again, but no, Cameron scored a goal against Hearts as well a couple of weeks ago, which was excellent, really well constructed, and it's good interchange in the middle of the pitch, which leads to the opportunity.
Yeah, I thought he played well at Pittodrie midweek as well. Allo Athletic have come from behind. They were a goal down to Annan Athletic. They're now 3-1 up. Taylor Stephen with that goal on 67 minutes. And just confirmation, that third goal for Rangers. Todd Cantwell on 56 minutes, cruising 3-0 up at home to Livingston. A dreadful campaign from Davy Martindale. I know he said he comes out swinging, but he was talking last week about, you know, relegation, going into the Championship and the fight that he had on his hands. But he said he would stay on and he would fight. But my goodness, it felt like a big game at home to Ross County midweek. They had to rely on a late equaliser in that game. Lyle Cameron's goal coming through in the 59th minute. Dundee 2, Hearts 1.
It's a good strike, sorry, Kenny.
Yeah, on you go.
You know, it does fly past Xander Clark's. Maybe I've been harsh, but Tony Sibbick's body shape's all wrong. He should be a lot tighter to Cameron than he is, but no, great finish, great run and finish.
Right,
Hearts have made a couple of changes, Kenny. Oda and Grant have gone off and Vargas has come on, and Scott Fraser making his debut for Hearts.
Yeah, we'll see how he does. There was a lot of excitement set among the Hearts fans. I saw on my timeline at his arrival. Let's get back into the Championship. So Dunfermline 0, Morton 4, a double for O'Connor and a double for Jack Baird. Kasim Sheikh is there for us. Kasim, I'm just wondering what's the reaction from the home fans, because this is an absolute doing this afternoon.
Oh dear, Kenny, as soon as that fourth one went in, let's just say the stands have started emptying.
Yeah.
I'm still looking up now at the terraces. More and more people are starting to leave. So yeah, not very happy here. As the second half started just as the first half kind of went. Dunfermline Athletic have not even entered the box of Greenock Morton, and Greenock Morton look like they're searching for more goals here. As this thing stands, Dunfermline Athletic still 0, Greenock Morton 4.
Yeah, absolutely cruising. Dougie Emery said a couple of goals in League One. Stirling Albion 2, Cove Rangers 1. Dale Carrick has Stirling back in front. That goal in 64 minutes, and Kevin O'Hara's got his second of the game. He has doubled Hamilton Accies advantage away at Queen of the South. Queens 0, Hamilton Accies 2. What's happening, John Robertson? Inverness Cardiff Thistle against Queen's Park.
Yeah, it's still a good game. You know, the goals giving Queen's Park a lift, there's no doubt about that, but Inverness are still well, you know, they've got plenty of possession and they're making some good inroads. There's a brilliant header from Alex Samuel which was saved by Ferry, so this game still, it could go either way. I wouldn't rule Inverness out coming back, winning this match, but at this moment in time it's 1-0 to the visitors.
Rob, what would you put down as the deal of the last window? A lot of excitement, Owen Beck, a lot of excitement, Kevin Van Veen, a lot of competition for his signature. Is there one at the moment that stands out for you?
I think because he's a forward and his success in the past, Van Veen looks, you know, you look at players coming in that makes your squad and your team stronger, and you look at Kilmarnock and they're right, the two signings in particular, Greg Stewart and Van Veen in the forward area, you're thinking, wow, that'll make Kilmarnock stronger, because Derek's already got them really tough outfit to break down with Dees and Mayo and all these guys at the back. But I think Beck has been outstanding, and he's, you know, when he went back in to Liverpool, you think that's a blow to Dundee, but they've brought in a couple of good signings as well. So I always think that the sign of a good window is when you come out your squad stronger than it was before you got in, and I think certainly Dundee and Kilmarnock can certainly lay claim to that. As I have a chance here for Cammy Kerr. Oh, it's a good save. So that's for me. And the other thing, you know, the story developing Easter Road is I still can't make out what this investment from the boy Foley is. Is it going into the team? Is it going into the infrastructure? Is it going? I don't know if Michael or Alan, who have got their ears to the ground in Edinburgh, know anything better.
Chance for Ross County, Kenny.
Yes, take it away.
It's their best chance of the second half so far. Luika Yinya, the centre half, stepping forward, drilled one from 35 yards, and Mitov with the fingertip save to push up the crossbar. Ross County have really been the dominant force in the second half, and Dingwall, Kenny, they're chasing this equaliser. Will it come?
Yeah, definitely need of the game. Alan, Michael, your thoughts on that? So basically this week the SFA cleared the way for Bournemouth owner Bill Foley to become a minority investor in Hibs. That's to be ratified at the AGM next month. So his shareholding can't
it's an equaliser for Dundee United. It's come out of nothing. I think that might be Glenn Middleton who's just turned inside there, but it's a goal, and the United fans behind that goal. I thought at first the shot had gone beyond. I thought the goalkeeper might have done better. but it's Dundee United level here at Somerset Park. You hear the Dundee United fans away to my left celebrate, and it is United 1, the league leaders 1.
That's a big goal there. Just look at the BBC website. Peace Allen, actually, we've had him on before, football finance expert Kieran Maguire, saying that Foley's investment could mean that Hibs become the third club in Scotland, so clearly putting a lot of money into the investment into the squad.
Well, that's what he said he was going to do. He wants to try and get them to finish third or fourth. He was saying, it's all right saying that, but you've got to have the recruitment people in place.
And the right manager.
And the right manager, yeah, you've got to have that as well. So it'll be interesting times ahead, because you just think, the guys want to put money into the club but not own it, because he can't own it. Why does he want to do it? You know, I get the point with James Anderson at Hearts, because he's a Edinburgh man and he's got a team obviously, but Bill Foley's an American wanting to invest in Hibs. It's good, it's brilliant for Hibs, it must be said, but you stand back and just have a look and then see how it pans out in the coming windows. I think he's done an interview saying he wants to challenge Celtic and Rangers going forward, and he certainly has the money if that's the case. But I think you're going to have to invest 60-70 million every year for 4 or 5 years if you want to go and try and compete with Celtic and Rangers.
Luton Town 4.
Eric, I just correct the goal scorer. It's Tony Watt, substitute Tony Watt. Lovely turn, and he just drove the ball over the net. I think the goalkeeper was a bit fooled by the angle he's coming in at. I thought he could have done better, but it's Tony Watt with the equaliser. 16 minutes on the clock at Somerset Park. Ayr United 1, Dundee United 1.
Yeah, he's an interesting character. I think he's a guest on Sports Sound tomorrow. So Newcastle United 2, Luton Town 4. Adebayo with that goal on 62 minutes. Edinburgh City 0, Kelty Hearts 2. Alfie Bavidge with the second goal for Kelty on 67 minutes. The league leaders in League 2, Stennismuir ahead 1-0 at home to Dumbarton. Ross Taylor on 65 minutes. Alfie Bavidge has another goal. Kelty Hearts 3-0 up away at Edinburgh City. Confirmation that Tony Watt equaliser for Dundee United away at Ayr United. That goal coming on 67 minutes. Actually right up to date with all the latest scores.
Craigs, is there any sign of Kevin Van Veen, Greg Stewart, any of the two?
Well, I'm just about to say Greg Stewart is on the touchline about to enter the fray. It's Kyle Vassell. I keep saying Darius Vassell. Kyle Vassell is the one coming off for Greg Stewart. Rory McKenzie is coming on as well for Danny Armstrong. I've got to say, Danny Armstrong has had as quiet an afternoon as I can remember watching him over the past 18 months, and a lot of credit has to go to Georgie Gent for that. So Greg Stewart enters the fray. He'll play up alongside Molly Watkins. Kevin Van Veen is out warming up, so he's trying to catch Derek McInnes' eye as well. But just speaking about centre forwards, the improvement in Theo Bair is phenomenal. Honestly, this afternoon, Kenny, his hold up play, his link up play, he's upset Stuart Findlay, he's upset Joe Wright. Lewis Mayo hasn't been able to cope with him. He's been a real handful, and he's got his goals. And I mentioned it in the half-time report, there's much better strikers in this league, haven't got the number of goals he's got. Yes, it's only 7, but he was ridiculed when he joined Motherwell. People laughed and spoke about his past at St Johnstone, 1 goal. Tell you what, he's been absolutely brilliant this afternoon, and those 3 Kilmarnock defenders will be glad to see the back of him when the full-time whistle goes.
Craig showing his age there with the Darius Vassell shout.
We've all done that. We've all done that. Yes. Someone come in there.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, well, first of all, it's a substitution for Ayr United here. It's Harry McHugh coming on, and he's going to replace Fraser Bryden. I just thought you were going through all these, talking earlier on about the Aberdeen situation. Maybe there's a real lesson, Kenny, in what Morton have done with Dougie Emery. They were bottom of the league at one point. They've extended his contract. Yep. And I have to say, if I'm a Premier League club looking for a manager, I would be admiring what Dougie Emery has done with that club over the last couple of years. And Morton showed a bit of faith by extending his contract instead of getting rid of him.
Yeah, I just wonder actually, Rory, there's a bit of, I've used this word before, but sometimes like snobbery in terms of Scottish clubs not signing Scottish players. The players are doing well in the top flight or in the Championship here, and you just wonder, it's a fair point, he's the longest serving manager in the Championship, Dougie Emery. He's got Morton absolutely flying, and why wouldn't you look at him?
Absolutely. And when he took Morton over, they were really, really struggling. I remember covering his first game, and they got a good point down at Rugby Park, and he's been brilliant ever since then. Yes, he had a poor start to the season, but my goodness, have they recovered. And I'll say it again, I think there's an assumption at times that if you've played the game at a high level, which Dougie Emery has played at the highest level in Scotland, there's an assumption that you're going to make a good coach or a good manager. The two don't come together. You've got to go out and prove yourself, in my opinion, and Dougie Emery's had to do that at Morton. He's done it. And look, I'm not saying that he should go in and get one of the biggest jobs in the country, but I certainly think when one of the jobs come up, in the near future, I don't see why you wouldn't consider him as a candidate.
He served his apprenticeship, Rory.
Absolutely.
Hamilton Accies with the youth.
Absolutely.
With the youth side, so learnt his trade there. Then when he's got his opportunity, I think he's imposed a little bit of his character, because as a players well know, he was a good player, Dougie Imrie, but he was that kind of fieriness in him.
Yeah.
You know, so and I think he's took that into the management. So and that's a great word you use, Kenny, snobby, because I think sometimes we do that. We overlook our own.
Yeah, it's certainly, we've mentioned that many times, Derek, in terms of people not looking at players and then they go on to do a good job elsewhere. Ruben Barrell has equalised for Cove Rangers away at Stirling Albion. That is 2 apiece. Newcastle United 3, Luton Town 4. Kieran Trippier with the latest goal for Newcastle United on 67 minutes. And Burnley have pulled a goal back at home to Fulham. Burnley 1, Fulham 2. Fofana with a goal on 71 minutes. I'll give you the latest scores, then we'll scoot around the grounds for some updates from the guys. The lunchtime kick-off: Aberdeen 1, Celtic 1 full time, Dundee 2, Hearts 1, Hibs 0, St Mirren 3, Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 3, Livingston 0, Ross County 0, St Johnstone 1. 3 games in the Championship this afternoon, all covered on Open All Mics. Ayr United 1, Dundee United 1, Dunfermline Athletic 0, Morton 4, Inverness Carry Thistle 0, Queen's Park 1 in League 1, Annan Athletic 1, Alloa Athletic 3, Edinburgh City 0, Kelty Hearts 3, Queen of the South 0, Hamilton Accies 2, and Stirling Albion 2, Cove Rangers 2 in League 2 this afternoon. Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Stranraer 0, Clyde 1, Peterhead 0, Elgin City 1, East Fife 0. My goodness, a theme here. Forfar 1, Spartans 0, Stennismuir 1, Dumbarton 0. And there's a chance somewhere.
Yeah, Kenny. Oh, it's got it. It's McCausland. Just brilliant play down this right hand side. Just getting away from the defender. Just couldn't quite get the finish in. And then he just had a little opportunity as well. The ball, put into that back post area and just doesn't quite get the connection. Also, Kenny, the other guys were talking about other issues. And that Oscar Cortez, he's been on, I think, 7-8 minutes now. So he come on for Matondo. So he makes his debut this afternoon.
Right, we'll keep an eye on that one. Thanks to Derek Ferguson. Just in terms of Livingston, Derek, I mean, is it just a question of just trying to hang on and damage limitation? Because it could be a real sore one for them this afternoon, couldn't it?
Yeah, I think they're going to be making more substitutions. So they look like damaged goods to me at the moment. I know this is a difficult venue to come, and get something from. But but you just look at the run that they're on. That'll be now 16 games that they've not been able to. I know they've had a couple of draws in there, but when you're in that kind of mode, in that place, it's so hard to turn it around. And as much as Davey is doing, and he spoke about that, I'm going to come out swinging, but you just don't see it. At the end of the day, it's about quality, isn't it?
It is.
And I don't think they've quite got that quality that's going to keep them in the division.
I think the biggest thing for them, Fergie, today, obviously going to Ibrox, and no one would expect them to win, but it's not to come away from it being even further adrift at the bottom. There's 6 points. Ross County would have been thinking, well, they'll get something today, maybe 3 points, and then the gap opens up again to 9, and they're toiling. So I think the best result today would be St Johnstone 1.
Yeah, well, they're doing that so far. We'll get around the grounds in England. Brighton 3, Crystal Palace 1. Mateta pulling one back for Palace. Newcastle United have equalised at home to Luton Town. They were 4-2 down. Harvey Barnes with a goal on 73 minutes.
Scotland's Harvey Barnes.
Yes, a man very much of interest to us and to Steve Clark. We shall see.
Oh!
Yeah, chance.
Oh, yes, a big chance. Cortez down that left-hand side, just whips it back, and it's into Fabio Silva. Get his first touch, the ball just kind of scoops up into the air, but again he just turns in mid-air on the volley. It's about shoulder height, and I'm not sure how close it was, but it was past that left-hand post. So unlucky not to go 4-0 up Rangers.
Was that a chance for you, Stephen?
No, it wasn't.
It was me, Kenny. An unbelievable miss for Ayr United. In fact, they were 2 in a row, and I can't believe that's done. It's big Sean McGinty. He's literally 6 inches out go to his mercy, and he miskicks it altogether, and he holds his head
Goal
up.
to Greenock Morton.
My goodness.
5-0. Number
reaction,
18,
Rory.
Michael Garrity. Sorry to interrupt.
No bother at all. We want goals in the product. I'm just looking at your reaction when that came in. That's an absolute doing, Rory, isn't it? 5-0 at away at Dunfermline.
5-0 at home, yeah. You know, Dunfermline are promoted this season. They've collected 24 points. They're third bottom of the league now. But all their poorest results have come in the last 2 months, and a 5-0 home defeat is never good when you're under a pressure already.
Could that put threat under James McPeak? It must do. And I hate saying it about managers and they're trying to move things on, but my goodness, a 5-0 home defeat against Greenock Morton seems a real poor result for them, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's a hard one to come back from, no doubt about that. Very hard for Dumbarton to come back. They're already a goal down away to league leader Stenhousemuir in League 2. They're also now a man down. Ryan Blair sent off, second yellow card on 75 minutes in that game. Let's then continue around the grounds. Let's get to Dens Park. What's happening, Alan Preston?
Dundee are comfortable. Hearts have had a little bit of possession, not really created anything, and Dundee look the livelier side with Cameron McCowan in the middle of the park. It's quite comfortable for them just now. They're leading by 2-1, and Hearts have made a couple of changes. Macaulay Tate's come on as well, along with Fraser, but still can't get a grip of the game.
He was very good, Macaulay Tate, when he came on against Dundee. Changed the game.
Excellent. Yeah, he was very good. Good young player.
Any sign Michael Stewart of a fight back from the home side at Easter Road?
Well, they've just got a corner kick here, but no, they've huffed and puffed. They started the second half, as I said, they'd clearly been getting a rollicking at half-time. They started a lot more aggressively and bright, but St Mirren just were able to withstand any pressure. It wasn't as if it was immense anyway, but they were quite comfortable in defensive set-up, and it's now drifting into the second half and getting closer towards full-time, and time's running out, and Hibs are, as the game, the second half has gone on, they're looking less and less likely that they're going to get anything from it. They've not really, you're thinking Trevor Carson in the goal, what has he had to do? Zach Hemming in the goal. He's not had a great deal to do for the St Mirren goalkeeper. He's been a bit of a spectator so far, even in this second half when Hibs have been a little bit more in the ascendancy. They've not troubled Zach Hemming.
Michael, I know it's difficult when the whole side's not playing well. Any of the new signings shown up today in a positive light for the home side?
Not really, no. Because you've hit the nail on the head. It's just been a pretty poor performance from Hibs, and the biggest takeaway for me is that they still haven't addressed the issues they've got defensively, and that is a big problem, because you start shipping in 3 goals, you've got a mountain to climb. It's not a get out of jail free card by any stretch of the imagination, because this has been poor, but that second goal, the penalty kick, that's a big one, to go from just potentially 1-0 down at half time to then going 2 down with a horrendous penalty. That really took the wind out of Hibs' sails, and then obviously compound things even worse when Mandron got the third just before half time. But the second goal was a huge one, and it was, for me, a very, very poor decision.
Yeah, we'll hear from both managers at Full-Time Sports, and with you right through until 7 o'clock this evening. We've got fans of various clubs, including a Hibs fan, joining us between half past 5. Yes.
To Hearts. Shanklin brings the ball down the edge of the box. He flips it over a Dundee player and he lets fly. And it's come off, I think it's Ashcroft. Rory, help me out here.
Yeah, I think it is Ashcroft. I'm just trying to see. I assume it's for handball again, which it seems harsh on first view. Yeah, but I'll need to see the replay, obviously. But Shanklin looks like he's going to take it.
Shanklin's taking it, yeah. Shanklin's going to take it, because obviously Grant's off, who scored last week. Shanklin grabbed the ball straight away. I just don't like when he does this little stuttery run up.
His arms are close, but his hands kind of come out. I think it's harsh again.
Let's have a look here. So you just talk us through it. So what's happening?
So it's flicked over Shaughnessy's head. It's on his left foot, a volley. Now, his hands come together almost to protect his body, and his hands are slightly out from his body. It does hit his hands, but I think it falls into the same category as the Hibs one. I think it's extremely harsh.
How can you get out of the way of that? How can you get your arms out the way of that?
I know.
So close.
And you're natural. It's a natural instinct to bring your hands to your body to protect him. It's just whether he feels the referee, his actual hands were too far out from his body. But I don't think there's a case to answer with that. I really don't.
Oh, it's too easy. He's given it. After the check, he's given it.
Alan, we've just seen behind the goal, but we've just seen behind the goal that it does look as if it's going into the bottom corner potentially. So
well, that's true. I mean,
we've just seen a better angle right through you behind the strike.
It did look like a better angle there. It does hit his arm, but again,
here he goes. He's going to come and take this. The keeper is on his line. Remember the goalie saved one at Tynecastle a couple of weeks ago.
Is he scoring, Alan? Come on.
Yes, he's scoring. Just! It's 2-2. Keeper goes the right way. And Shanklin runs in and smashes the ball for a second time into the net. Moreover, anger more than anything. Carson dives to the left-hand side, gets a great hand on it, but it goes in off the post. 2-2.
Right, my goodness, that's a big goal there. So the Wayside back on level terms. Dundee 2, Hearts 2. Michael gave us a story, a sorry story, he'd have to say, for Hibs at home to St Mirren this afternoon. Well played to Stephen Robinson's side, doing the damage in that first half. Let's get to Fir Park, Stephen Craigan. That game very much in the balance.
And I have to say, Kenny, it's been a great watch the second half. Both teams aren't settling for a point. Kilmarnock looked really dangerous from cross balls, whether it's Matty Kennedy on the right hand side or Rory McKenzie on the left hand side.
What's that all about? Hesitancy in their United defence. Dundee United have snatched a goal out of nothing. A ball forward across, and now some of the fans are on the park behind that goal there have come out onto the pitch. Stewart's getting them away. It's a goal for Dundee United. The scorer's run into the corner. I can't see who it is from there, Kenny, but I will inform you in a minute. But in any case, Dundee United look as if they might well snatch all 3 points. A dramatic climax to this match. It is Ayr United 1, the leaders Dundee United 2.
That is a huge goal, an absolute sickener for the Wraith Rovers fans tuning in. Had one on to me in social media last night. He just can't understand what's happening. I think he was tracing it back to that equaliser. Derek covered it for us, the big goalie equalising for Arbroath in that game against Wraith Rovers. Has been downhill since for Ian Murray's side, are really struggling, though Dundee United haven't exactly been in top form, but as Chick saying, that could be a big goal for Jim Goodwin's side this afternoon. A really tight game down at Somerset Park. Let's continue in the Championship. My goodness, Cassim, what a game you have witnessed. What a scoreline you're witnessing this afternoon at East End Park.
Yeah, I'm losing count. I'm trying to keep up here. I'm fearing there could be more goals. There's still 9 minutes left here. But yeah, as things stand, Dunfermline Athletic now, Greenock Morton 5. The attendance here, I've just been handed it, was 4,701. I reckon quite a few less than that now, because the fans, the Dunfermline Athletic fans, have just continued to leave the ground, and yeah, it's pretty gloom here for them, the home fans. But for Greenock Morton, the fans are singing away on the right hand side of me. As things stand, Dunfermline Athletic now, Greenock Morton 5.
Ross Docherty,
I thought Kazim was going to give us an actual number there of supporters that were left.
Sometimes you can do that.
I'm not that good at counting.
Good save. Dundee have reacted well. That's Robinson with the shot. Good save, Xander Clark.
We'll hear from Tony Docherty's thoughts, actually. We'll get his thoughts on that penalty shot. Just what I'd say, it's come through the score of Ross Docherty with that goal.
Oh, what a chance again for Dundee. And it's Robinson again. I just mentioned him. It's a brilliant cross by McGee. And he just gets his header all wrong. I think he mistimes his jump, Rory. He doesn't get anything on it.
He's up too early, Alan, which means he can't generate any power. And it just kind of hits him in the face. And it just trickles wide. It's an excellent opportunity, as you say.
A big chance for Rangers. Dezers, he's got to score. He's only 7 yards out. It's good play from right. Whips it in. Cortez gets himself in there. The ball breaks the Dezers. He should be hitting the target at least. You know, he just thumps it high, well high over the bar. On Oscar Cortez. Kenny, yeah, he looks the part, by the way. I tell you what, as well, he's brave. Because there was, once the ball goes down the right hand side, he gets himself into the box, in between the sticks, and he put his head in just about 2 or 3 minutes ago. Put Oberlai, he's a big lumpier lad. They put him on the deck, you know, took a sore one in the head, but Oberlai was on the deck. Cortez just got up and got on with it. So he looks a brave lad as well. He looks a piece, but there's Dezers, he should be scoring.
Kenny, the calls came in. You know what's happening at Fir Park in the away dugout.
I think he'll get a good reception, Stephen.
I was going to ask.
Well, it will depend. If he comes on and scores, well, he might get a good reception to come on, but if he scores a winning goal, he'll certainly not get a good reception after that. But
what reception are you going to give him?
Well, I'll wait and see. I'll be like the supporters, I'll buy my time. But certainly, listen, Derek McInnes has to put him on. I don't think they've carried enough of a threat in the second half. There's been balls fizzing across goal, crosses coming in. They're looking for a poacher. They're looking for a number 9 just to get in the end of those. So it could be right up his street, no doubt about it.
Yeah, just to confirm, Ross Docherty with that goal for Dundee United. As things stand, that puts them 4 points clear of Wraith Rovers at the top of the table, both having played 22 games at the close of play today. He's a decent player, Rory, isn't he? He's a really good championship player, Ross Tucker. He's been over the course before.
Yeah, he is, and he's proven at that level with Partick Thistle. He'll get around the pitch, he'll break up the play, but he's also got good quality when he does get the ball, and he chips in with the odd goal as well. So, and I think he dovetails Craig Sibbald in the midfield really nicely as well. So, really good signing from Jim Goodwin.
And it's been a really good game as well, hasn't it? Yes,
it's a bizarre goal, Rory. Sorry, I'm just saying to Rory, a bizarre goal because the ball came across the left side and it seemed to go beyond everybody, including Ross Docherty, but he got himself, his body into the most bizarre shape and suddenly hooked it back in, and it went in the near post, and absolutely Charlie Albertson, I think, was baffled as to how they got that back across, and anyway, it's 2-1 to Dundee United, and their fans are going absolutely bonkers behind that goal.
It's a brilliant run from Owen Beck again. Cuts inside, gets a shot off. What a player this young man is. Liverpool have got an absolute gem on their hands.
Yeah, I can tell we've got him choosing our music for sports, and that'll go in the next couple of weeks. I believe there's some interesting choices there.
He's got to pick Beck, surely.
the lad Conor Bradley down at Liverpool, you watch him, he's another clone of the two of them.
He's fantastic. Chance.
What an effort that was from Yilmaz. I tell you what, he's about 22, 23 yards out. You think you go for power, he tries to pick his spot. The keeper, he just sees the keeper off his line, it just comes off the underside of the bar and goes away into the right hand side. What an effort that was from the young man. Yeah, that was a brilliant, because I think most players from that distance, you think, I'll just go for power. You just try to curl it and guide it into that far left hand top corner, and it's so unlucky.
Into the closing stages, Inverness Carry Thistle at home to Queen's Park in the Championship. What's happening, John Robertson? You there? No problem there. We'll get back to John. Brighton have gone 4-1 up at home to Crystal Palace. Yao Pedro with that goal on 85 minutes. So the game's coming to a close across the country. The one that's two absolutely in the balance, Dens Park and also at Fir Park. So
it was booze, Kenny. It was booze for Kevin Van Veen. There was, and he went straight to Bevis McGavin. He nudged him when they were wrestling, getting on. I don't think it was friendly, so I'm sure there'll be a couple of tasty tackles from Callum Butcher, Paul McGinn and Bevis McGavin. Make themselves a Motherwell here this afternoon.
He can handle himself, Kevin Van Veen, to be fair.
He's a big lad, isn't he? He likes to mix it. He likes to mix it. Let's see how he does. So he is on for Kilmarnock. Stephen Craigan, will that be the best piece of business for you in the transfer window from what we know about the players that have come in?
Well, I think when you look at where Kilmarnock are placed and what their aim is, there's no doubt Derek McInnes privately will be thinking European football, so trying to push the side towards there.
Lawrence Shankland, what a goal that is! Magnificent! It's a quick break. Vargas to Shankland. He cuts inside him from 22 yards. Whips it back across Carson into the bottom corner. 3-2 Hearts.
Yeah,
I'm running out of things to say.
Listen, it was a great goal. I'm just going to wait and see about the keeper. I need to see a replay. I just looked up and saw the goal.
Cannot hold a lead against Hearts. They threw a 2-0. They've been up twice today. They threw a 2-0 lead away again at Tynecastle a couple of weeks ago.
Can you tell Brian McLaughlin to keep his voice down a bit, Al?
No chance of that, honestly. You know what Brian's like. Falcon Leghorn.
Tony Docherty will be sick. Let's see, Dodgson. He's bullied him all day. Shankland, he pins him.
Right, here we go. The top tuck is through, Rory.
He just squares the defender up, goes past him. Just squirms under Carson, doesn't it?
I think he's got to do better. Here's a better angle here. We've got an angle here behind the goal.
Dodgson's got to do better.
It's lovely play from Shankland initially, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful
hold the ball, then a really nice pass. And here we are. He's very, very cool. Goes round the man, and here we go. He's got a hand to it, hasn't he?
His wrist could possibly be strong. I'm no goalkeeping expert, but he gets just enough power on it to get it past the goalkeeper, and he's now got a double.
He's a terrific player.
Another 3-2 for Hearts against Dundee.
I honestly think if Hearts get to 52 points, that's it, done for third. In recent years, fourth's been 48, 48, 46. 1 year it was in its 50s, but it's usually about 48, 49 that's fourth place.
Alan, just looking at the table, so the current live tables things stand. Hearts 43, Kilmarnock 33, St Mirren 32, Dundee 27. Would you actually, even though Kilmarnock are the closest at the moment, would you actually see them as being the biggest challengers to third spot now, come the end of the season?
At the moment, you'd think so. I mean, Hibs are a bit of disarray. Aberdeen are, a good result today for them, but they're in disarray as well. St Mirren are doing away all right, but I can't see them winning 6 or 7 games like Aberdeen did last year. So I think it's certainly for Hearts to lose. And I think if they get to 52 points, that'll be it.
Ken, I think Hearts are in 45, are they not? I think you said 43. I think they're in 45 because they win today.
Oh, Willie Collum, somebody just take
Yeah, you're
him
right.
home.
It's not updated. You're right, it's just updated. What's up, Michael? You're right, Stephen. What's the problem?
He's pulling out yellow cards. I mean, you look at this. For me, there's a drive into the box. I think it's Joe Newell comes across to make the challenge. It's not a penalty kick. The St Mirren player goes down and he runs running over and he boots the guy. I mean, sometimes, guess what? It's not a foul and it's not a dive. Just get on with the game. He's so desperate to make decisions, just over the top, pulling out a yellow card for no reason.
Yeah, it's a nudge. Joel Newell leans into him and knocks him off balance, and he goes down, goes to get back up, and he's got a booking. It's strange.
And an Athletic 2, Alloa Athletic 3. Dominic Docherty giving the home side late hope there. That goal on 89 minutes. And just confirmation that Lawrence Shanklin goal. 87 minutes, Dundee 2, Hearts 3. A chance there.
Georgie Gent, yeah, right foot edge of the box. Will Dennis scrambling to his right-hand side, just managed to get it around the post. So there's still 4 minutes added on, but there's still plenty to play for. I'm going to be brave. I think there's going to be a winner in this game. Both sides have put so much into it. Something's going to fall somewhere.
It's 10-5, Craigs. How many minutes you got added on?
Look at 4 minutes left, Roy.
Well, that's a bold call. We shall see. Edinburgh City 0, Kelty Hearts 3. That is a full-time scoreline. Let's get back to Dingwall. Ross County against St Johnstone. What's happening there, Ian Auld?
Yeah, we're last 30 seconds here, Kenny. St Johnstone just seeing this game out now. Ross County dominated the second half, but St Johnstone have managed the game well and look like they're heading for their first away win of the season in the Premiership.
And in terms, Ian, of the striker they brought in that's got the goal there, how's he looked aside from his goal this afternoon?
He's looked good. He only lasted an hour, Kenny. Real pace. I mean, you'll see the goal for yourself later on Sports Scene. Will Nightingale makes a mistake and he races in behind and he's off. Good footwork in the box as well. Looks a real handful. And that is the full-time whistle. Ross County 0. In fact, no, is it? No, I think it is full time. Although St Johnstone are planning a sub.
Are the players walking off?
Still going. No, we're still going.
Still going.
False
right.
call.
Right, we shall see what happens there. Definitely full time. Bonnyrigg 0, Stranraer 0, Burnley 2, Fulham 2. A late equaliser from Fofana on 91 minutes there for the home side. Where else? Let's get to.
Yeah, Shanklin again.
Yep.
There's a shot well over the top of the bar. We'll let him off with that. Good. I mean, Dundee are pushing men forward like you wouldn't believe. We've now got 3 balls on the pitch. Hearts fans they keep kicking it. What's Carson doing? He's kicking it back into the Hearts end. So as soon as he takes it by kick, the ball comes on again. Referee has to stop the game. There's another one on. Just keep throwing balls on.
Full time now. Ross County 0.
now.
St Johnstone
Morton 5.
Thank you. So 5-0 to Morton, and full time for you now in Dingwall.
Yeah, full-time Ross County 0, St Johnstone 1. As I said, their first away win of the season for Craigleen. They now go 5 points in front of Ross County at the bottom of the bottom part of the table.
It's a big win for Dundee United down here at Somerset Park. Somerset ahead after a minute. Ayr United ahead after a minute with Murphy, Tony Watt, the substitute, and the captain, Ross Docherty, with a late winner for them. Dundee United maintain their place at the top of the table. All 3 points. Disappointment for Scott Brown. Full time here. Ayr United 1, Dundee United 2.
Thank you.
Full time at Easter Road as well, Kenny. 3-0 to the away side.
And for the fans that are left, I mean, their feelings perfectly clear.
Not
there.
many.
No, I wouldn't have thought so, Michael.
After about 75 minutes, there was a fair few of the home support had left, because you quite clearly had the feeling that they weren't going to get back into the game. And they're no best pleased, as you can imagine.
And in terms of their away support, there knows a decent travelling support there, Michael, for the St Mirren fans listening at home. A very, very good performance from their side this afternoon.
Comfortable, controlled it. Obviously they scored after 8 minutes, and they never looked in doubt that they were going to go on and win this game. And just so you know, your son is right in the middle causing all the trouble.
There was 1 week I looked up and he could have been behaving better, but listen, the St Mirren fans having a great day out in the capital, no doubt about that. A big win, all the damage done in the first half. So just other full-time scores: Dunfermline 0, Morton 5, Ross County 0, St Johnstone 1, Ayr United 1. The leaders Dundee United United 2. As Michael is telling us, Hibs 0, St Mirren 3. An absolute sickener for Ian McCall. Clyde 1, Peterhead 1. Rory McAllister from the penalty spot in the 95th minute. Clyde, of course, desperately in need of points. And the League 2 leader, Stennismuir, back on the winning track. They beat Dumbarton, 10-man Dumbarton, by 1-0. So any sign of that winner you promised us, Stephen Craig?
No, Misty Craggs isn't on it tonight, but there's a booking for Kevin Van Veen. He out-muscled Paul McGinn. He felt it wasn't a free kick, and it shouldn't have been, and he's toe-poked the ball about 50 yards away, and Don Robertson couldn't wait to give him the yellow card. So it's not been the ideal return for Kevin Van Veen, thankfully, but I think we're into the last minute, so it looks like it's going to play out as a 1-1 draw. But I have to say the second half was much better than the first half, although the first half had the goals.
And the second half's been an absolute cracker at Dens Park. Alan Preston still playing?
Yeah, we are. It's still playing. We're into 5 added on minutes, of which we've got just over a minute to go. It's
full time, 1-0 Queen's Park.
Big win for Callum Davidson's side there, thanks to John Robertson.
Full time here, Kenny, as well. Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 1.
Yeah, I think honours even there. Probably a fair reflection on that. Lewis Mayo with the opener for Killie on 30 minutes. Theo Bayer with equaliser on 38 minutes. So still playing at Dens and still playing at Ibrox. A comfortable win for the home side there, Derek
Not
Ferguson.
any longer.
Yep.
That's John Beaton. Just blew his whistle, so a comfortable afternoon's work for Rangers. That was Silva got the opener. Matondo take them in 2-0 at half time, and then the icing on the cake, Cantwell, lovely finish to make it 3-0 for Rangers.
Yeah, a very comfortable win for Philippe Clement's side there this afternoon after Celtic dropped points. A fantastic second half at Pittodrie. So Celtic played 24, 58 points. Rangers played 23, 55 points. Both sides in action midweek. Rangers at home to Aberdeen on Tuesday night at Ibrox, and Celtic away at Hibs on Wednesday night. Full coverage of all the games on Sports Sound on Tuesday and Wednesday evening. So just waiting on
Hearts beat Dundee 3-2 for the second time in 10 days and go 12 clear in third.
That is a huge result there. So Jordan McGee with the opener on 26 minutes. Alan Forrest with equaliser on 55 minutes after a great play from Lawrence Shankland. Lyle Cameron put Dundee back in front 4 minutes later, but a late double from Shankland. The first from the penalty spot, 79 minutes, and then his second of the game, the winner, on 87 minutes. A terrific result for Stephen Naismith's side there. So Aberdeen 1, Celtic 1, Dundee 2, Hearts 3, Hibs 0, St Mirren 3, Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 1, Rangers 4, Livingston 0, Ross County 0, St Johnstone 1. In the Championship this afternoon, Ayr United 1, Dundee United 2, Ross Docherty with a winner on 82 minutes, Dunfermline 0, Morton 5. An incredible scoreline there at East End Park, and a big win for Callum Davidson's side in the Highlands. Inverness Cally Thistle 0, Queen's Park 1. Dom Thomas with a goal on 50 minutes. In League 1 this afternoon, full-time scores: Annan Athletic 2, Alloa Athletic 3, Edinburgh City 0, Kelty Hearts 3, Cooney of the South 0, Hamilton Accies 2, Stirling Albion 2, Cove Rangers 2. In League 2, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Stranraer 0, Clyde 1, Peterhead 1, Elgin City 1, East Fife 0, Forfar Athletic 1, Spartans 0, Stennismuir 1, Dumbarton 0. And in England, the lunchtime kickoff, Everton 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Full-time scoreline: Brighton 4, Crystal Palace 1. Also full-time, a late fight back from the home side, Burnley 2, Fulham 2. Still playing into the 99th minute there at St James's Park, Newcastle United 4, Luton Town 4. It's a 5:30 start. Sheffield United at home to Aston Villa. Rory Loy is in the studio with me this afternoon. We're just heading to the news at 5 o'clock. After that, we'll start to go round the grounds. Rory, we'll hear some managerial reaction from 5:30. We'll get fan reaction. Lots of fans have plenty to say this evening. As social media is anything to go by, lots of stories for us this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. St Mirren, the manner of the win, 3-0 up in the first half. Huge problems for Hibs and Nick Montgomery. Where do they go from here after that result? A lot of their new signings played today as well. Hearts, belief, mental strength to come from behind twice, quality as well at the top end of the field, come back and get the massive win away to Dundee. And St Johnstone, what a massive win for him. But talking point of the day could still be to come with Derek Adams' interview.
We always enjoy hearing from Derek Adams. He's been very, very good value in recent weeks, you would have to say. I think Derek Adams and Davy Martindale have been the two that we've been looking out for.
Morton as well, Kenny, sorry.
And that's a real statement result for Morton, thumping Dunfermline at East End Park. And just looking at that championship table, United top 48 points, Wraith Rovers 44, Partick Thistle 37, Morton 32 points. They've all played 22 games. Then we've got Airdrie, they've got a game in hand, they're in 28, Ayr United 26, Inverness, Cally Thistle still right in the mix in terms of that playoff spot. They've got 24 points. Dunfermline have got 24 points, so they do have games in hand. A big win for Queen's Park this afternoon. They're on 23 points. Arbroath adrift 5 points away at the bottom of the table. So all the reaction to come in sports, and including fan reaction, we're with you right through until 7 o'clock. Stay tuned for the BBC Radio Scotland News at 5.
On digital radio.